Hello, friends, and welcome in to Jim and Betty Smith Stadium on the campus of Appalachian State University. I am Austin Cochran, joined by,
Noah Williford.
and we are here for Masters Saturday, as they're calling it at the ballpark, between today's matchup with the Appalachian State Mountaineers and the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. Noah, give us a few players to watch in today's game.
I think the big thing for today on the ULM side is going to be, oh my gosh, whoa, I got to collect my thoughts here real quick. Center fielder David Mosey, right? Top 10 in the Sun Belt in batting average. The big thing to watch with ULM today is absolutely these hot bats that have come off this incredible weekend in these past few days. But on the Appalachian State side,
Country in ERA right now. This is, if you came to watch pitchers today, when you're at a hitter's park, you're over 3,000 feet in the air, and you've got a top 15 pitcher in the country, that is saying something. Gage Peterson will determine the outcome today for the Mountaineers.
You know, Gage Peterson right now, he's named to the National Pitcher of the Year watch list on March 11th, and he's projected as a top 50 draft pick out of this conference right now. And this, this isn't exactly the max. Sun Belt baseball is a big deal nationally.
Yeah, we were talking about this pregame. You compare the Sun Belt to the Big East.
Absolutely.
For what the Big East is for college basketball, the Sun Belt is for college baseball.
All of the best teams in the Sun Belt are absolutely in College World Series contention. Every year we saw it in Coastal. We've seen it in schools like Southern Miss, and sometimes we see it out of our beautiful App State Mountaineers today. And so when you see a kid get hot in this conference, this isn't just the nobody. This is a guy who's going to go to the MLB, right? He's going to wind up starting in games. He's going to have a successful career because that's the kind of baseball these beautiful schools of this conference produce.
Speaking of these great players from the Sun Belt, let's get starting lineups. First for the visiting Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. In center field, Davis Mousey. At short, Micah Dean. In left field, Bryce Blasser. On first, Jake Haggard. Third, Cade DuPont. Behind home plate, Zach White. In right, Garrett Withorn. And on the bump today for the Warhawks, Brandon Corley. The Warhawks come in falling last night to the Mountaineers after being up 4-1 early.
You know, it's really interesting, Austin. I think both of these teams right now are in fairly similar headspaces and very similar places at this point in the season, right? App State, 5 in the Sun Belt. These are two teams that are just floating above 500. They're just trying to squeeze their way in.
And for the Mountaineers, at short, Steven Smith. He also pitches.
Yes, he does.
Do that, so we might see him later on. In right field, Riley Luft. He's been a big addition for the Mountaineers playing out in right. Very energetic and interacts with the fans a lot out there. As, again, you've got some fans who sit out there. On third, Ethan Puig. At DH, Cameron Miller, who had his first home run of the season last night, knocked one 430-ish, obviously without the trees, over the left field wall. Behind the dish, Colton Denton, the freshman. At first, Jalen Seward. At second, Jake Mamau. In center, Charlie Evans. In left, Tank Yagubi. Again, a great defender out there in left. And again, what hasn't been said about the starting pitch for the Mountaineers, Gage Peterson, as he gets ready for first pitch here. Mousey steps in the box for the Warhawks. Mosey batting .366 here, as it's a nice sunny 75-degree day here. First pitch taken down for ball one.
I'm very, very intrigued. Hold on, let me check my facts here real quick. Wait, I may be wrong. Yes, sorry. Whoa, get lost in the stats sometimes. Keeping Charlie Evans in the outfield, that combination of Gage Peterson, who's got this incredible ERA, with Charlie Evans, who currently leads the entire country in defensive runs saved by a center fielder, this is going to be a hard team to get anything past today.
That one's taken high for ball three. I mean, yeah, it's very hard to score on the Mountaineers, even though, again, you're at over 3,300 feet here.
And two, this is a nice, cool day for the ULM boys. I mean, this is basically a second spring break. The high today in Monroe, Louisiana is 85 degrees.
Strike one called there. I mean, again, yeah, this is very nice weather for ULM Monroe. Like, a lot of the times you'll see opposing teams come in hoodies.
Yeah. I tell you what, a couple weeks ago, last game I called with Will Battershell against HBU, we came in hoodies. Man, the low in the ninth inning that night was 39.
Mosey put on there by Peterson. as we'll see Micah Dean come up to bat. Dean batting .327, tied 5th in the Sun Belt for stolen bases, transfer from Kansas State.
That's a pretty big procurement for the ULM boys.
Peterson fires that one down the middle for strike one, gets out ahead on this batter.
You have to wonder in that first at-bat with Mosey whether or not that walk may have been on the intentional side. Starting off, you go ahead and get the big guy out of the way. You know, next in the batting up, Micah Dean. He's still batting pretty hot, .327, but that's not quite to the level that Mosey is.
Similar position for that one as the count goes to 0-2 in favor of Peterson.
And two, you know, we saw 3-1 count, or, you know, ended up being a walk, so 4-1 with Mosey. But right now we're at 0-2 against Micah Dean. I guess Gage Peterson's just finally locked it up.
Peterson fires. That one hit by Dean. That'll get down for a base hit. It's a ground rule double. They'll hold the runner at third, and the Warhawks have 2 in scoring position already. It's a great shot there by Dean. Yagubi made an attempt to get to it, but it bounced right before the wall and just hopped over for a ground rule.
Yeah, this is a dangerous spot to be in, so close to the start of the game.
Number 18, Bryce Blasser up to bat. Blasser batting .338. The senior from Newport Beach, California. Played at Chapel Hill his freshman year.
Ah. What an odd little runaround. Goes from California to Chapel Hill to Louisiana, and now he finds himself 3 hours from Chapel Hill again.
Yeah. That one swung on low for strike one.
That's the interesting thing about this ULM roster is a lot. I mean, it's where ULM sits. I used to live in Ouachita Parish. I don't know if you know.
Nice. That one taken outside for ball one.
But on top of those hometown boys, you got a guy from right here, you got a guy from California, you got a guy from Quebec, Canada.
Quebec.
We've got Canadian representation in the Sun Belt. We're really moving up in the world.
Pearson fires high for ball two. Peterson delivers. That one hit on, and that'll be down. Play made there. Not in time, they say. But a run scores. It is 1-0 UL Monroe.
Now, it's interesting. The second that runner got on base and the second that run came in, I see a lot of fans clapping in the crowd. Whoa. Clapping in the crowd. There we go. So I think we might have some nice Warhawks representation.
Yes, there's always a good traveling segment. We see teams like Coastal or Wake Forest or Marshall come down.
Marshall had a big crowd.
They've got a decent amount of people because these schools aren't that far, but Monroe, Louisiana, quite the distance. Strike one sitting there for Haggard.
Well, I can say as a former Ouachita Parish native myself, those people spread out far and wide. And it's almost like a secret society. Like you're walking through the grocery store one day.
Haggard from West Palm Beach, Florida, batting .326, 6 home runs on the year, third in the Sun Belt in RBIs with 42. Haggard takes that one for strike two. 1-2 count, one away. Runner on third for the Warhawks.
I tell you what, this is a really hot lineup. We got a lot of guys batting over 300. I think this is a dangerous gauntlet to put Gage Peterson through right now.
Haggard lets that one away, and he made a good decision there. Ball two, 2-2 count. Peterson delivers. Runner goes, they said. He didn't drop the strike, though, so he has to get the tag. But that's the second out of the inning. Still counts as a strikeout, though. Marcus Aranda up to bat, number 28.
I feel so bad sometimes for the guys that get out on those check swings, Check swings, it's almost like trying to predict the weather for the day. Like it's just sort of whether or not the ump's in a good mood, whether or not that check swing gets called.
Aranda, the grad student from Hollister, California. he takes that one for strike one. Pearson, again, ignoring that first batter, he's got it out ahead of everybody so far today.
Oh, absolutely. And I think this is the big thing with Gage Peterson is it's not velocity. He's not blowing these guys out. It's control. It's finesse. It's mind reading. It's this ability to scoot around the bat and the way that just absolutely flummoxes these guys.
Ball one called there. Again, he's in more of that Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux type of pitcher where he's not going to wow you away with speed, but he's able to get these strikeouts, able to get these outs in these quick games.
Absolutely. This isn't explosives. This is chemistry.
Yes. 1-1 count as that one's low and away. 2-1 count here for Aranda.
And there takes a lot of a pitcher to be able to work the count in these ways, kind of bring the count up high, maybe even get close to full, but keep striking guys out and not teeter over the edge of walking the entire batting order.
Strike called there. 2-2, even count. Twos across the board here, top of the first.
Well, I tell you, 70 degrees outside, nice sunny day. If this isn't the day for baseball, I have no idea what is.
That one fouled away again, Noah. There's not been another better day made for baseball. Again, always a beautiful day in the high country, no matter the weather.
As I said a couple weeks ago, I was on with the wonderful Will Battershell here, commentating the High Point game, and I tell you what, there's a saying in Boone, if you don't like the weather, wait 20 minutes and it'll change, and that's a great example. 3 weeks ago, high of 45. 3 weeks later, 75 degrees. We got a UV of 6. I might go get my tan on later. Tops come off. You never know.
Strike three called there for Aranda as Peterson gets his second strikeout of the inning. One runner stranded, one scored on one hit, no errors as we head to the bottom of the first here. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned at 90.5 WASU. Welcome back into 90.5 WASU. Once again, if you're just now joining us, the score is Louisiana Monroe 1, App State 0 here, bottom of the first. Steven Smith up to bat for the Mountaineers. Again, it's Masters Sunday, so they've got the swinging Yosef logo up on the board too.
Absolutely. And on top of golf, we also had some rest earlier this year.
That one low and away, almost looked like it hit Smith there for ball one.
Ever really get the chance to take a break?
No.
The weather, something, there's always going to have, there's some kind of magic on the mountain. You never get to just sit down.
Riley Luft up to bat, batting .301, 2 home runs on the year, 30 RBIs. And again, you've mentioned it earlier. This is the perfect day for baseball. It's nice and sunny and warm. You smell popcorn as that one is taken away for ball one. This is just prime baseball.
It's beautiful. We got a nice little spot in the shade. The sun's kind of gone away. I won't get a nice scalp burn. But who knows? This is what's so dangerous about the App State Mountaineers roster is they're not big hitters, right? We're not booming stuff off the fences, right? But we manage those gaps so well, and that's the sneaky part, right? We're not drilling these balls in. We're getting these guys in one run at a time, really slowly. It's this nice big moving machine.
Ethan Puig up to bat, the sophomore batting 38 on the season.
I'm really intrigued by this choice of starting pitcher for ULM. Brant Corley throwing .660 as an ERA right now. And I don't know with this App State batting lineup. I think it's dangerous. It's dangerous to start off with the chance of falling so behind. You've already got a man on first.
Yeah. That one called for strike one as Puig just let it look. So many per at bat before it's an automatic base runner. But again, you got to be nice and careful when you choose to throw it over that way. They will say Puig went kind of in line with that play from earlier in the top half of the inning where a player for ULM kind of went, kind of didn't win. Very call. Umpire is keeping consistent at least.
I can appreciate that. He's really, really consistent. And
that one hit by Puig out there. Good knock for a single.
And that's 2 men on base. But I appreciate the consistency for the umpire to say, okay, you did a check swing, and everything is even.
Cameron Miller last night, again, mentioned earlier.
We've been just dropped off some wonderful goodies
from
the Lowe's Foods table.
Thank you to them.
Some raisins, some pecans, some pistachios.
Cameron Miller up to bat for the Mountaineers.
You know, they say this stuff's good for you.
It is good for you.
Superfoods. I really appreciate that.
Miller had his first homer of the season last night after being injured for a long time. Miller will let that one go for ball one as that'll advance the runners both in the scoring position. Luft at third, Puig at second now.
I'll tell you what, that's been a really tragic story to watch this season is Cam Miller injured so early on and just trying to get that mojo back. He's been put at DH these last couple games, and I think he's starting to get back in the rhythm. You know, he's batting .294. He's just had his first home run, but, you know, I love Cam. I had internet communications with Cam. Bam Bam Cam was my favorite, and I really want him to get back in the rolling machine, man.
Yeah, Cam was a first-team All-Sunbelt preseason-wise, but, I mean, obviously he's been injured a lot at the time as strike one called there, 6 across the board, that he really hasn't lived up to that role, but it's not really his fault.
No. It's just sometimes the universe, boy, I tell you, sometimes the universe has different plans for you. I guess the university would too.
Miller dribbles that one foul as Corley will get ahead in the count, 1-2. Mountaineers lead the Warhawks in hits, but the Warhawks have the lead.
Now, this was an unfortunate situation that we got in our couple games against Marshall is we wound up leading in hits but not in runs, and that's a dangerous place to be where you're producing offensively only enough to get to the point but not enough to score.
That one up at Miller's chin. Inside, though, so not going to hit him.
Yeah.
2-2 count.
I will say this is a good position for the Mountaineers to be in right now. We got 2 men on base, one of them in scoring position, 1 out. 2-2 right now on the count. We'll see how this goes with Cam Miller.
Miller takes that one inside for ball 3, full count. Miller hit by pitch, and the bases are loaded here. Well, that's a way to get your 4th ball of the at-bat.
Yeah. You know, if you got 1 pitch left, just chuck it in.
Colton Denton up to bat, the freshman. Transfer from Tennessee, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Knoxville native. Shout out Mem Ali and Robert, my close family in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's just over the border, you know, but
yeah,
about 3 hours from here. He's used to playing in the mountains, that's for sure.
Denton takes that one for ball 1. Yeah, Knoxville's a cool area. definitely.
yeah.
Because I grew up going a lot to Pigeon Forge and stuff.
And
I
it's-
mean, I went to Knoxville the first time. And it's like I didn't realize how big of a city it was. I thought it was just like UT, and that was it.
No, it's about 300,000 people.
It's not a small city at all. That
It's-
one high for ball too.
It's almost like if Asheville put a suit on. You know, it's like the same mountain vibe, but it's not quite as hippie. It's much more like buttoned up. I think probably because of Tennessee.
Yeah,
And I tell you what, we've already got a mountain visit.
yeah. This one, no coaches though. Just
First baseman.
Haggard come over to talk to Corley.
Yeah, maybe he's just checking up on the weather. Find a dinner plans, you know.
Yeah, always much great restaurants to go to in Boone. A lot of them.
Yeah, the Appalachian Student Newspaper just released Best of Boone. Everybody go pick up your copy. Restaurant recommendations, tattoo artist recommendations, ski mountain recommendations. You got everything in there.
That one fouled away by Denton. Hey, speaking of the Wake Forest game, you were the one taking the pictures. I was just there for the ride.
Yes.
We went to Cookout because Cookout won an award in that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, best late night snack was Boone's own local cookout. What's your go-to cookout order?
My go-to Cookout order is 2 cheeseburger quesadillas, cheese curds, strike 1 called there. Sorry, strike 2, correction. Cheese curds and Cajun fries. Correction, ball 3 called there. That one looked down the middle. Great framing there by White behind the dish.
They even had to switch the count on the scoreboard. I guess that tripped everybody up.
There is strike 2. Full count here. 1 away. Bases loaded for the Mountaineers. Yes, I'm a big Cookout fan.
Yeah, me too. I'll tell you what, Colton Denton, a freshman, you know, he seemed a little bit spooked a couple weeks ago against HBU, but he's starting to find his rhythm, and I think he's going to have a really, really nice place here on this App State roster. You know, he's fresh, young talent amidst a pretty senior-heavy lineup, and he's really held his own.
Denton fouls that one away out into the trees.
I think my go-to's a cheddar-style burger with double Cajun fries and a big sweet tea.
Strike 3 called there on the inside corner. Oh yeah, that's definitely one of the orders you could get at Cookout.
Sure.
Jalen Seward up to bat, the redshirt junior first baseman, batting .258 on the year, 2 home runs and 16 RBIs. Seward takes that one for ball 1.
I had a friend of mine once, their cookout order was a chicken nugget tray with a side of chicken nuggets and a side of chicken nuggets and a cheer wine.
There we go. That's another order you could get at Cookout.
Yeah.
That one fouled away out into the grass, and kid will go collect the ball.
You know, there's been so much movement in protein maxing and things like that. I think that's one way to do it is just eat 30 chicken nuggets.
I'm sure, because you got all those apps with like AI, see the protein in your food already.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get like 50 milligrams protein in that.
Somebody at home, chat GPT for me how much protein is in 30 chicken nuggets and walk it up to Jim and Betty Smith Stadium.
That one, again, 1-1 count here for Seward. Seward knocks that one. That'll get down for a base hit. 1 run will score, and they'll stretch 2 in. Appalachian State will take the lead over ULM here, 2-1. Great knock there in the right field by Jalen Seward.
And that's another example of that smart hitting, right? It's not about power, it's about placement. It curves right over the first baseman's head, right in front of the right fielder, just at the foul line. It's just awkward enough that nobody wants to go for it, but everybody wants to go for it, and so everyone stops. And they watch it go by, and then all the runners come in.
Jake Mooma up to bat, batting .385 on the year.
This is a dangerous hitter to come up with another man in scoring position just after letting this one go by.
Runners on the corners for the Mountaineers. Mooma will fire away, and he'll miss there for strike 1.
I think Mumau is definitely going to be swinging for the fences here. If you've already got that momentum coming in, don't let it stop. Go ahead and kill Brant Corley while he's on the mound.
Mountaineers in white tops, white jerseys, and white pants. As that one's a wild pitch, Cam Miller will be sent home, and the Mountaineers now lead 3-1 over the Warhawks.
And the big man gets in, and Mumau hasn't even left the plate. This is what I was saying earlier. Brent Corley, that 6.60 ERA. You got to be careful letting App State get the opportunity to get those runs in while they're fresh. These guys are killer when they're fresh. When they get tired, things get sluggish. But boy, in this first inning, these guys are going crazy.
ULM in reddish burgundy.
Sure.
Burgundy
Yeah.
hats.
Nice
Gray
color.
tops and gray pants also. You can also refer to tops as either the hats or the jerseys. So I'll interchange sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You know, upper body.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's probably because I lived in Monroe for some time, but I'm such a sucker for the ULM iconography.
It's very nice. I do like it.
I love the Warhawk. I love the weird like camo alt jerseys they used to have a long time ago. They were ugly as sin, but they were so fun.
Yeah, things don't have to be good. Like the Yukon ugly Husky logo.
This was my whole.
That's not a good logo, but it's just so great.
It's so fun. This was my whole. You know, the New York Giants. They premiered those weird 100-year anniversary jerseys where it looked like they weren't wearing pants. I thought that was awesome.
2-2 count. That one fouled away.
Do you want to go get that one for you, Austin?
We could go get that.
It's right in our backyard.
When I was on a call with Bobby Phillips one time, we mentioned we should bring gloves up here.
I greatly contemplated it.
It wouldn't be a terrible idea.
No. But then, like, I got to look at stat sheets and stuff, and one of my hands is basically a big piece of leather, and you know that our bosses at WASU might not love that thing.
That one away for a ball 3, full count here.
I feel as though a mound visit may be inevitable.
This might not be a long day for Corley if he continues like that. Muma knocks it, tracking towards the wall. That one is out of here. A 3-run blast for Muma. Sorry, 2-run blast for Muma, and the Mountaineers now lead 5-1.
And I tell you what, I hope he wrote a love letter because you can kiss that one goodbye. That's right next to C. Phillip Byers' scoreboard, and App State runs away with this first inning.
So bring up Charlie Evans, so the fans like to call him Chuck. Chuck Nasty, I've heard that too.
Chuck Nasty. Kid's great on both sides of the ball.
He fouls. No, they were going to call that one fair as it goes down the right field line. He's looking for 2 here. And there's an error. He'll continue running for 3. And he's in safely with a triple.
He was in with a triple for time to spare, and the crowd is going nuts. I tell you what, Chuck Nasty, that's a nasty play right there. You know, it coasts right along that right field, that first base foul line. And it's that exact kind of play earlier. It's the kind of ball that nobody wants to go for. And in that moment of hesitation, that's when you run off.
Action starting up in the ULM bullpen as we see 2 catchers run out with 2 pitchers. And here you go, the mound meeting you mentioned. Tanky Gooby up to bat. Running on empty already playing.
I tell you, this might be the swan song. But back to Chuck Evans, not even on the plate anymore. Now he's at third base, but he's incredible on both sides of the ball. He's raised his batting average from 250 to 325, and he leads the country in defensive runs saved by a center fielder. I mean, this kid's incredible. We've just gotten an advertisement, post-game Easter egg hunt tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow. So any folks who want to come back up to Jimmy Betty tomorrow, I highly recommend it.
We've transitioned to help by the Beatles here. Tanky Gooby up to bat. Gooby batting 284, but he's slugging 299. 19 hits.
They're going to keep him on the mound.
On the year.
Brant Corley will stay on the hump for the Warhawks, which I think after this much lost momentum as a pitcher, I think that's pretty dangerous. You know, these guys are 90% psychology.
Again, many people mention sports are 80% mental, 20% physical.
Yeah, and at a point like this, you don't want to let this guy keep slipping away.
That one taken in for strike 1 there. Kind of looked like it clipped back down as it went over the plate. Yagubi fires that one foul. 0-2 count.
I'll tell you what, if I was able to hunt through the woods for baseballs, I don't think I'd ever have to buy a baseball ever again.
I don't think I would either. I mean, I've sat out in the outfield there, see the perch out there, and kids will just go run around, go collect home run balls. And they'll find batting practice balls too, as that one's called for ball one. Great environment out there. You've got the players' families who sit out in center field, and over in right field, you've got the bus and the perch out there.
Absolutely. And I think, even in the grandstands here, too, that's what I love most about Jim and Betty is these people are happy to be here. Whether we're winning, whether we're losing, rain, shine, snow, cold, hot, whatever, everybody just loves App State baseball.
It is one of the most underrated environments in college baseball.
Absolutely.
That one called there. 2-2 count. Twos across the board here for Yagubi. Yagubi takes that one for strike three. So 5 scored, 5 hits, 1 man stranded on no errors as we hit to the bottom. So the top of the second here at Jim and Betty Smith Stadium. Don't go anywhere. Noah will be taking over play-by-play. I will go to color commentary for the next 2 innings. This has been 90.5 WASU YouTube.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to a wonderful, beautiful Jim and Betty Smith Stadium as the Mountaineers take on the ULM Warhawks. And for those that were worried about clicking away, don't worry, I have the Masters standings right here on my laptop. Rory McIlroy still 12 under. Looks unstoppable right now in the Masters. He might two-peat. Hey, who knows? Second place, we got Pat Reed under 8, followed by Burns, followed by Young as Dane Ray steps onto the plate for the Warhawks. And Gage Peterson still on the mound.
Yeah, we'll be seeing Peterson out here for a while.
And that one's high for ball one. That one was very high. Back to the Masters, followed by Young, Lee. Scotty Scheffler fell all the way to tied for 6. I'll tell you what, it's really heating up in Augusta today. And that one is high again for ball 2. Dane Ray, fairly productive, 317 as a freshman. And I'll tell you what, this ULM team, I think, has really shocked a lot of people. They were last in the Sun Belt in the coaches' poll preseason, and they've jumped all the way, I think, into top 10.
Yeah, they're tied 4th right now.
That one goes in for a strike, counts 2-1, no outs. App State, after just a murderous inning, is up 5-1 on the Warhawks.
Saw a triple there by Charlie Evans.
And that one's fouled out, 2-2-0. Oh my gosh, the trip! I mean, that was beautiful. That's the kind of things you wait. That's the kind of things you hope for in baseball. It's the kind of thing you tell your kids about.
Just tiptoes the line and gets down to the corner. Drop made there, and Evans is able to get in 3rd safely.
That's another one in for ball 3. First batter in. We got a full count here in the second inning. And I have a feeling that Gage Peterson is going to get real comfy on the mountaintop. I think we're going to see a lot of him today.
That's what you normally see from the Mountaineers on Saturdays. Peterson just comes out and plays his
there's
best ball game.
strike 3. And that was strike 3 swinging. And that goes back to that conversation earlier. You know, he's a master. He's a chemist. He just has this incredible control, not just of the way that the ball moves, but the way that the batter is thinking. As Cade DuPont, redshirt senior infielder for the Warhawks, comes up to the plate. DuPont, incredible season thus far, 378 batting average in 30 starts. Pitch goes in for ball 1. And this is so much of the Sun Belt. It's just absolutely incredible offense. Heavy bats, big hitting, big scoring. It's great. It's incredible. And that one goes in for ball 2. Slips out of the catcher's.
It's over the mountains there.
Oh, just a short little drive. Nice little short drive home for Christmas break.
Yeah.
Winter break. Some don't observe, and that's okay. And that one's in for ball 3.
Engage is trying to work the corner, see what he can get here.
Absolutely. And I think Cade DuPont's just not biting at the breaking balls. And that one's in strike 1. 3-1 and 1 out right now in the top of the second.
Again, I mentioned it. Peterson's just trying to work the corners, and then he's going to go throw something like that when you don't expect to see fastball down the middle.
Absolutely not. Here's the pitch again, and that's right back to the
edge area, and then 2 down the middle.
Boom, boom. And that's exactly what he did the last batter. He struck out the last batter. Here's the pitch. And that's struck. Nope, that's fouled off. My bad. Didn't hear the click. And so we're right back to the full count. 3-2 with 1 out. 3-2-1, folks. 3-2-1 with 4. Cade DuPont. Isn't that so fun?
Yeah. 5 runs for the Mountaineers.
Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, guys. And that one's up to third base. Fired across to first, and that is out at first. Nice little casual play from Ethan Puig to Jalen Seward. Now, I'm intrigued by this next batter, folks. This is sophomore catcher Zach White, and I don't know if you know this, but a little radio secret. We get nice little stat sheets and info cards on people, and, you know, we have these things called spotter boards, and it basically tells us everything we need to know about everybody we need to know, right? Here comes first pitch, and that was in for strike 1, switches that up a little bit. But I was looking at my spotter board, and I'm trying to figure out who's who, and I look at Zach White, and I think Zach White may have given us his Hinge profile. It says Zach White enjoys hunting, fishing, and playing golf as pitch 2 goes in. And that one's a little bit low for pitch 3, my bad. A little bit low as it goes in for ball 2. Counts 2-1 with 2 outs. Biology major at ULM. So anyone, you know, if you're looking for a potential partner, I guess Zach White's putting himself out there on the spotter boards. I personally am taken, but hey, Austin, I think that's your thing. And that struck swinging, counts 2-2 with 2 outs.
2's across the board here.
And that one's a little bit low for ball 2. Back to 2's across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And I think ULM right now is really, really hunting for that offensive efficiency. You know, we're at a dangerous point. We're at 2 strikes, 2 outs. You're 1 pitch away from disaster, but ULM 1 hit thus far in the game. That was a little bit low. That brings us to another full count. That's the 3rd straight full count for Gage Peterson. But the last 2 ended up in strikeouts.
Yeah, that one, the very rare wild pitch you see from Gage Peterson.
Here's our pitch. And that's strikeout. That's the end of the top of the second. We're going to take a quick break. Whoa, don't click away. This is 90.5 WASU Sports. as the first pitch goes into batter Steven Smith for strike one. Steven Smith, boy, I tell you, this kid is incredible on both sides of the ball. Great ERA pitching, 4.02 in a batting average as that pitch goes way outside for ball one. I mean, this guy's nuts.
The Ohtani of the high country.
Yeah. I mean, and hey, Steven Smith, he played for the Panthers. No, he didn't. I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
I've always thought that in my mind.
Oh, that's a check swing for strike two, I think. Yeah. Okay, great. That would have been crazy if it wasn't. So that's 1-2, no outs. App State Mountaineers up 5-1, and yeah, we've got Steve Smith, a Panthers legend, on the plate right now, batting 402 for the Mountaineers. 5 home runs, 31 RBIs as the pitch is fouled off. Count still 1-2. I mean, Steve Smith, this kid, he's a grad student. He's going to be the future of this program for the rest of the season.
Yeah, this is Steven Smith's time to shine.
Exactly. Leading the Mountaineers in batting average. He's top of the order. And I think, ooh, that one's way out to left field. Might just be a, routine pop fly. Caught by the short. And on the mound right now, shockingly, still Brant Corley, the fellow who led up 5 runs in the first inning. I'm intrigued by this decision. You've got guys, well, actually, the guys aren't warming up in the bullpen. As I'm looking at it, they're sitting on a bench. It looks very relaxing and calm.
Very relaxing.
Nobody really throwing baseballs, which is kind of the point of the sport, but whatever. On the plate right now, Riley Luft, sophomore outfielder. Pitch one, inside just a little bit, inside the box, inside the body. Strike one out. And I think this is a really low cortisol moment for the Mountaineers right now. Like, I think there's not a lot of stress here. You're up by 4, and it's the second inning. There's not a lot to be scared of in this moment. And the pitch goes in for ball one.
Yeah, I mean, again, great day. Your friends just popped by.
I know, yeah. I was just chatting with my friends. We're probably going to hang out later. And that one goes right by the pitcher, right through the gap for what looks like a single. Right across, right through the Mountaineers A. And I tell you what, that goes, I've said it so many times on this broadcast. I talk about it all the time. It's App State hitting with placement. We're hitting, trying to find the gaps in the defense, almost like you're playing football, right? You're trying to find the gaps in coverage. And we managed to nail it. When we nail it, it's great. And we've nailed it a couple times today, sneaking down the first base foul line, right between the first baseman, right between the right fielder, and then sneaking by the pitcher, cutting past the first or second baseman, and sneaking right into the middle of the center field. Up, and Luft goes to steal. He is out. Oh, what a tragedy.
Yeah, that one's not a great throw, but I mean, still. Luft did not run very fast there at first.
No. I think that was a bit of an odd moment. That was that was first pitch. I think the catcher dropped it for ball one. Ethan Puig on the plate right now. I love Ethan Puig's walk-up song. It's quite strange.
Yes.
And it counts now 2-0, 2 outs. Puig steps out, goes to get his bearings a little bit. And this might be a much more successful inning for Brant here. Brant Corley. And that one's way low and inside for ball 3.
I mean, he's a D1 starting pitcher. You obviously have those moments, but again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you're a D1 starting pitcher in a power conference. Well, almost power conference.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's doing better than I would.
Yeah.
And that's strike one. Counts 3-1-2.
Puig had a single his first time up.
Here's the pitch. And that one's way inside to walk our first man of this half inning. And up to bat with a big Bam Bam Cam. If he really manages to do well for the rest of the year, I think this will be a good comeback story for everyone.
Most definitely.
This is the kind of thing you make a movie about.
Oh, yeah.
And especially after that last inning, I think getting to score, I think that's a great way to get your mojo back. You get hit, wind up scoring a run, you're comfortable. You're in a great place right now. Oh my gosh, and immediately goes to steal. And is this one? He is safe, Ethan Puig. And I tell you what, the Mountaineers, they're pretty trigger happy on the stealing bases, man. But I mean, 1 for 1, that's not bad this far.
Yeah, stealing's been a big thing you've seen develop recently more in the game, just because I mean it's more common.
Absolutely, and I think as guys are getting faster and as baseball players are becoming more and more athletic, I think that's something we're gonna see a lot. And that one's in for a ball 2. Counts 2-0 with 2 outs. Ethan Puig on second. Yeah, Brent Corley keeping an extra eye. Ooh, I think Miller got hit on the hand there, fouled off for strike 1. But Brent Corley keeping that extra third eye on Ethan Puig now, looking back at second base. And that looked like it hurt. Cam Miller did not seem too happy about that one. But he's back in the box. Counts 2-1 and 2. Brent Corley still keeping that eye on Puig. Up, and Miller hits it right to the shortstop and is tagged out at first for the end of our second inning. Folks, don't go away. We got plenty more baseball for you here on 90.5 WASU. All right, folks, welcome back to 90.5 WASU Sports. We were watching the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Well, it's open house weekend here on campus. We've got lots of prospective students and commits and their families up here. And a great way to experience that Mountaineer culture is go to a sports game. We're a big sports school. As the first pitch comes in, and that one is way up high to center field. And I think this is going to be a routine pop fly. Boom, there. Oh, he drops it. Oh, my gosh. Garrett Withorn to second base. It winds up being a double because of the drop. That's shocking.
They call it an E8 there, so it's an error, not a hit.
Oh. That's a shocker. Yeah, center fielder Charlie Evans, it's unusual for a drop like that. Here's the pitch. They go for the sacrifice bunt, but that ball's way outside. They wind up sacrificing. Oh, no. It's considered a ball. And ULM still looking for that second hit. Very unusual an error from Charlie Evans. As we mentioned earlier, he leads the country in saved runs as a center fielder. So to see him drop something, I mean, that's a rare occasion. I might go buy a lottery ticket.
Wow.
That one's way inside for ball 2. Counts 2-0, no outs. Oh, on the man on second. And that one's inside for strike 1. Counts 3-1 and 0 with Garrett Withorn on second. It's been interesting to see the way that pitchers have really kept an eye on the runners. I think there's been a lot of danger today in those legs getting loose and those men getting on base. There's the pitch. And that one's inside for strike 2. That's a full count.
Again, Peterson finds his way to work back into the counts.
And it's fascinating that change in mindset as a batter when you see that scoreboard flip from 3-1 to 3-2. You go from having a little bit of room as the pitch comes in, and he walks the batter. David Mosey winds up on base. It's interesting that momentum switch, that psychological switch between 3-1 and 3-2. You know, at 3-1, you're up in the count. It's your thing to win. And then the second flips to 3-2, you're one pitch away from going home.
Yeah.
We now have a man on first and man on second. Still no outs for ULM as Micah Dean, sophomore outfielder, comes up on the plate.
To the speed.
Things like that. I mean, those are sometimes the most dangerous because the catcher's got to get up. He's got to get it running. He's got to get that throw in. There's so many moving parts to these defenses that the offense just slips right through. I mean, we've seen that a ton this year with the sacrifice bunts in the MLB. Bryce Blazer, senior outfielder, comes in, and that is a swing and a miss as the count goes to 0-1. And we might be in a dangerous position here as Mountaineers fans. No outs, bases loaded. ULM now has recorded their second hit of the day. Congratulations, Warhawks. And someone's walking by in a Masters hat, as that one is hit deep to center field, back to Charlie Evans. And he redeems himself with a catch in. Ooh, but the short misses the throw. And there seems to be a kerfuffle at third base. And the Warhawks get a run in, I believe.
Yeah. Sacrifice there.
Bit of an odd drop with third baseman Ethan Puig. And everyone advances except for, of course, the batter as Jake Haggard hits the plate, senior infielder. Haggard batting .333. And we might finally be seeing the start of a really productive ULM offense in this inning. And that one's low for ball one. Counts 1-0 with one out. There's the pitch. And that one's outside for ball two. This is what I mentioned earlier. This is the game that you play. This is the gamble that you make when you try to paint the corners. As on some moments you're going to be a great pitcher who strikes out a bunch of guys, and in other moments you're going to wind up walking guys. As that one goes just foul. Oh, and Jake Haggard's having to take a long walk back to home.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed is sliding mitts, and my first thought was, oh, why do you need those? There's no dirt. But again, if it's a hot day and you're sliding on turf, you obviously need that more than you need on dirt. Because, I mean, dirt, you get scratched up. This, like, you could burn your hand.
Turf burn is not friendly. And, you know, that reflective turf, and when it gets real hot, I mean, it can wind up being 120 degrees on the surface.
Most definitely. I've played high school football games where it's just been fire on your feet when you're warming up.
And that's fouled off for Jake Haggard. Counts 2-2. I used to work in a museum in my hometown, and it had turf outside in like a little play area. And there were days on a 90-degree day in my hometown, that turf would be 150 degrees.
Wow.
I don't know how those kids did it, man. I'd burn the bottom of my feet off. Anyway, 2-2 with one out. Jake Haggard's still on the plate, and that one's way outside for ball three. And that's a full count again for Gage Peterson. It's interesting to see a pitcher so comfortable with full counts like this.
And again, he's got like, what, a 1.4 ERA?
It's incredible. I mean, it's like, what, it's 142. I'm looking at my stat sheet right now. And a short hit goes foul, and the count stays full. You know, to see a guy so comfortable in a moment that is so dangerous for so many pitchers is absolutely fascinating. The Jaws theme comes in as I think the fans are looking for a strikeout here from Peterson. We'll see if Jake Haggard lets it go. And he walks Haggard. And the man on third, Davis Mosey, steals home as the catcher drops the ball. And ULM records yet another run. That's 3 runs for the Warhawks, 2 in just this inning. And Haggard gets on base. So we've got Haggard on first. We've got Micah Dean on third. And it's a mound visit for Gage Peterson, who has done so well thus far. And you know, Austin, even now, this isn't really a bad game. I guess they're just trying to talk some of those EBGBs out of him, but 3 runs in 3 innings isn't super absurd.
No, not at all. I mean, he's got the yips a little bit, but I mean, again, that's not that bad. 1 per inning.
No, I mean, and I think that's a very reasonable thing to get. I think right now they're just trying to talk him down a little bit, get him to calm out. Yep. And Gage Peterson is right back on the hump for the Mountaineers, and hopefully this will settle him down a little bit, and we'll start getting back to painting those corners real nice. But hey, well, no, who knows? As grad student Marcus Aranda comes up to the plate. Aranda, 278, one of the lower averages on the ULM batting order, but still very dangerous. 7 home runs on the season. I don't know if you can hear on the mic, folks, but the wind is starting to pick up here on the mountaintop. As that pitch goes in for strike 1. Still 1 out thus far in this inning, this half inning. Score now 5-3. App State still leading in the hits game, though, leading 6 hits to 2. And they'll check in on Jake Haggard at first. A little bit of airmail. But, of course, Jake Haggard is safe. It's nice that the guys at first base get some attention. You know, go check in on them. Check in on your friends. Pitch comes in. And that's fouled way high right over our desk here at Jim and Betty for strike 2.
Car horn sound effect going off.
You know, it really alarms me because my car is right where that ball would have landed. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to tell a fake car horn from a real one.
It's just like one day we're going to hear a car horn, and it's just not going to stop.
Yep.
Like the batter,
and
pitcher will be winding up, and you'll hear bam, 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 bam.
The announcer's going to have to get on the horn. To the owner of the 2009 Honda Civic, if you could please turn off your car alarm. You're disturbing the vibe. And that pitch goes in for ball 1. Counts 1-2 with 1 out. Score's 5-3. And the sun is kind of hiding behind the clouds here today at Jim and Betty. We've gotten some nice moments of shade. Pitch comes in again, and that one's outside for ball 2. 2-2-1. And I'll tell you what, Jake Haggard at first, he is raring to go. These guys are looking to run. These guys are looking to make up this deficit here in this inning, I think. Peterson settles in. And Haggard goes to steal. And he's going to get in. Colton Denton can't get the ball back up for the throw.
Been a lot of yips for the Mountaineers all over the field in this inning.
And I think specifically from Colton Dean, we've maybe seen some mishandling of the ball today, which is a little unfortunate because it's let a lot of these ULM runners go by. I mean, that's routine. Getting that ball up, chucking it to second, that should have been a free out for the Mountaineers. Marcus Aranda still on the plate. And he struck swinging. That's strike 3 and 2 outs. And a man on second and a man on third. Micah Dean on third. Jake Haggard on second.
It's Peterson's 5th strikeout of the game.
He really nails him in, man. He's, top 10 in the Sun Belt or something like that? I have it somewhere amongst my stats. Something like top 10 in the Sun Belt in strikeouts. Oh, top 15 in the country in strikeouts. That's my bad, folks. I don't mean to undermine the situation. As pitch 1 goes in for Dane Ray, a little bit low for ball 1. And there's 2 outs. We might finally be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel for this inning with the Mountaineers. And there's ball 2. Counts 2-0 with 2 outs. And I'll tell you what, the crowd's really stuck it through, you know. It's nice to see a crowd that really wants to stay at these games. It's really easy to leave a baseball game early. I respect the folks who don't.
I mean, we're not too far in, but again, we're a quarter in the game already.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been here for just a touch over an hour.
Yeah.
And that goes in for ball 3. Gage Peterson back to that classic paint in the corners.
First pitch is at 3:05 today, so just slightly over an hour.
Yeah. And he's painted lots of outside corners. Let's see what Vincent Van Gage has left. And that one's hit up to second base. And a runner will score, but a man will be out at first. Our score is 5-4 with the ULM Warhawks finally finding some offensive efficiency here. Let's see where the rest of this game goes. You're going to hear it all on 90.5 WASU Sports. More baseball when we come back. All right, folks, welcome back to 90.5 WASU Sports here at Jim and Betty Smith Stadium, where the App State Mountaineers are leading the ULM Warhawks 5-3. And in other news, me and Austin are doing a little taste testing here. We've been delivered some trail mixes and and things, and I'm very excited. Are you excited?
Yeah, I've got the spicy one here and put some in.
I have this little combination of cashews and pecans, and how do you say pecan? Pecan? You say pecan? I think I strike right down the middle. I say pecan. And I don't know why, because my parents don't say that, and neither did any other family. As Colton Denton comes up to the plate for the Mountaineers. Colton Denton had some troubles today on the defensive side, but plenty of good stuff here at the offensive side. And who is that at the mound for ULM? Let's check in on our good friend, Brant Corley, who's still on the plate for the Warhawks. First pitch, hit right over shortstop's head, and that's going to be a single for... Yeah, speaking of knocks, I'm going to knock back these dang trail mixes, man.
Oh, they're quite good.
Yeah, this is great. Raisins, and I got sunflower seeds and pecans and spicy peanuts. Speaking of peanuts, we can all get nutty later during the 7th inning. You know, they throw the peanut, whatever. Anyways, Colton Denton on first. Support one another. You see a man, you see a guy sitting at a radio table, and you go, you know what? I think that guy wants trail mix. And you know what? That guy does want trail mix. You're perfectly correct. Variety, too. We got spicy, we got sweet, we got a nice neutral. And that's going to be in for ball 2 to go. The Suns come back out. And that one is high and outside for ball 3. Counts 3-1-0. And the Mountaineers, I think this is a good opportunity to go ahead and try and make more distance after giving up some ground to the Warhawks in the last inning. And that's ball 4. And Jalen Seward will walk. Colton Denton will go to second. And we'll see a lot more white tops out there. Comes from a bit of a baseball pedigree. His dad, Rob, played baseball at JMU and wound up in the Blue Jays minor league system. But tragically, no tender profile information. I think that's just Zach White's 1-0 and 385 average. We'll give my co-host a moment to collect himself as the count's 0-1. And I tell you what, Brant Corley.
Ooh!
Way in Brant Corley at this point. Nasty Charlie Evans.
That's what the fans call him.
I got it.
Nasty.
So this is like Chuck Nasty Jr.
Yeah. He's the Chuck Nasty of Boone.
Exactly. Oh. And here's a mound visit. Maybe that was maybe a little close to the face. Evans on the plate. This is a dangerous place to be. And it seems we've got a new pitcher on the mound for ULM. Folks, say goodbye to Brant Corley. Such a fleeting time we've all had together with him. And I'm not quite sure. Let's see who this sub is.
We'll do a quick break and tell y'all afterwards.
Welcome back, folks, to 90.5 WASU. And I tell you what, we do have a new man on the mound. This is Caleb Sturmiska, transfer from Nick McNeese, former player for Texas A&M International. And I think this guy is maybe much better prepared to handle this Mountaineers offense. 2.19 ERA, 3 scoreless innings versus Georgia State. This is a good man to transfer from when you're trying to manage the game while you're still not too far behind. First up to bat, it's going to be Chuck Nasty, Charlie Evans. And I do not envy this situation to walk into as a pitcher. You've got bases loaded, no outs. And that one goes in for strike one. Charlie Evans lets it go by. And I tell you what, this pitcher is tall. This is a Randy Johnson type guy.
6'9", 205.
Lordy, 6'9". Yeah. What do you reckon that pant size is, like 30, 38?
Yeah, probably something like that.
And that pitch goes in for strike one. And Evans fouls it off as the count goes to 1-2. No out still as App State has these bases loaded. And I'll tell you what, we've got fans standing up. We got fans walking around. We got ice cream. We got all sorts of goodies. It's a really energetic day here at Jimmy Betty Smith Stadium. It does a lot for the soul for me and Austin here at the radio counter when we get to see out and absorb all this wonderful energy from the fans. As Evan has a short hit to the third baseman, gets Evans out at third. Will Denton score? Yes. Score is now 6-3 as Seward and Mumma advanced to third and second, but unfortunately a sacrificial out from Charlie Evans to get a nice little RBI. Next up, Tank Yakubi. What a fun name.
All name team.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's a wonderful person out here who had a wonderful son and said, you know what? I'm naming this guy Tank.
Throwback to me and Isaac Edwards, a good friend of ours, called back in the fall, the fall ball game versus East Carolina.
First pitch goes in, and that's way up high to center field. And this might be a routine pop fly, but I know that these Mountaineers are going to get moving. And here comes Seward, and he's going to come in for the run, and Muma's going to advance. And that's another little sacrifice fly. And I'll tell you what, App State has absolutely been killing it with the sacrifice flies. I believe I thought I had some. What am I looking at right now? I thought I was looking at something. We have some of the most sacrifice flies in the country, if I remember correctly.
To this call, real quick, Tank Yakubi hit a home run, so I went Tank with the Tank.
He did?
This was in the
fall
ball
gosh.
game.
I thought you meant right
sorry.
now, and I was like,
sorry for scaring you on that one.
There's no way I was so focused on these dang stat sheets that I missed a home run.
Sorry for confusing you there.
Anyways, now on the plate, Panthers legend Steve Smith. That's a joke. For the folks at home, that's a joke. And Steve Smith is going to hit one right in the gap between right and left, and the shortstop's going to get it in. He's going to drop it. And there's going to be another one in for the Mountaineers. Score is now 7-3 as Mumma, 8-3 as Mumma comes in. And as mentioned earlier, this is the exact opportunity for the Mountaineers to run away while ULM is still shortly behind.
Smith gets his first hit of the day, batting .386 on the year.
And here comes outfielder Riley Luft, and it's a mound visit already for Sturmiska, thank you.
Looks like they'll be going to the pin for this one also.
Oh my gosh. Time truly is fleeting, folks. Enjoy it while you have it, because Sturmiska didn't seem to have much of it up there on the mound.
Not at all.
Good grief. Welcome back, folks, to 90.5 WASU, where we have yet another pitching change. This is the third pitcher in 3 innings for ULM. This time, number 29, senior Seth Cooper, transfer from Meridian Community College in Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, I'll tell you what, Austin, Arkansas is kind of a big baseball state. You got Arkansas Pine Bluff, great program there. Nice little sleeper against LSU last year.
You got the Hogs. They obviously huge baseball program there in
Absolutely.
Fayetteville.
Yeah, big stuff going on. He's a bit more of, I love this.
Everett Harris, so we could see possibly sidearm and sidearm both in this game.
You know what, Austin? I think that's the ideal world.
Yes.
I think the most ideal world is everyone throws sidearm.
The most ideal world is everyone throws submarine.
That's what I was about to say. This Seth Cooper kid, he's almost got a submarine-like release. He looks like he's going to, my stat sheet is, Kate, can you hand that to me? I've lost a stat sheet. Anyway, Riley left this up. Riley left outfielder on the plate as his first man for the new pitcher, Seth Cooper. Seth Cooper with a 6 ERA. And he'll check in on Joseph Zamora. He'll check in on I guess Zamora's subbed in. He'll check in for Zamora at first base. A little bit of airmail. Zamora is quick. You got to keep an extra eye on that. Oh, and there he goes. Yeah, Zamora goes to steal second, and he is out. And that is, and something seems to have happened to the second baseman. Some kind of pretty unfortunate collision, but that is the end of the inning. A bit of an odd one. As we go to the top of the fourth, Zamora subbing in, goes for the steal, gets out, and we'll all go home. Be sure to come back for now more 90.5 ASU Sportsman. Come back.
Welcome everybody back into Jim and Betty Smith Stadium here on the campus of Appalachian State University. Your score is 8-3. App State leads it over the Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe. Big inning there for the Mountaineers, scoring 3 after ULM Monroe kind of bounced back and scored 2 there, Noah.
Absolutely. I think App State really took advantage of that opportunity to go ahead and get ahead while you're ahead. And, I mean, it really worked. I mean, we went through 2 pitchers in a half inning.
Cade DuPont up to bat here. He's 0 for 1 on the day, batting .378 on the year. Gage Peterson still on the mound for the Mountaineers. DuPont takes that one for ball 1.
It'll be interesting to see just how much of Gage Peterson we see today. But, I mean, he's the favorite. There's a really good chance here that a lot of folks here today are seeing what might be a really, really incredible baseball player.
Yes, that one called for strike 1. DuPont, more in your profile architects here. He enjoys playing ping pong and pickleball. That one called for strike 2. And Peterson out ahead in the count now.
I really appreciate ULM's willingness to go ahead and put in the personal facts on the spotter boards. You know, it's nice to get to know these guys.
I want to shout out our own Dylan Shepard for making these spotter boards. I wanted to update some stats in there this morning as DuPont Amazing articles.
Heck of a sports writer. I'm really impressed that a guy like Ford Pemberton, who's in his first year as a head coach, is doing so well with his baseball team.
That one driven nicely into center field as Charlie Evans will make a play on it, but White fouls that one away for strike one.
White, our most eligible bachelor, I'm realizing is kind of in really good company. You know, Jake Haggard enjoys. Let's see what else. Bryce Blazer enjoys going to the beach, and his sister Mackenzie plays soccer at our
First top four, 8-3 app. Peterson gets him for strike three. It's Peterson's sixth strikeout on the day.
You know, Austin, I think sometimes the most relentless players in the baseball team aren't the players at all. It's the sound guy.
That one taken away for a long strike one. Kid will catch it off the bounce on the hill. Kermit signed him up in 10 years.
It was on that day that I knew I'd be an App State Mountaineer.
0-1 count. Peterson looks, fires. That one again fouled back into the net this time. Caught by ULM member of the coaching staff.
I will say this for the folks at home. Don't be fooled by the score. This game has been a lot more electric than you'd realize when you first see that 8-3 count.
I mean, we've seen 11 runs scored across and only one scoreless inning. So
Absolutely.
It's not been bad.
No. And ULM really is holding their own fairly well, especially offensively.
Strike three called as Peterson gets him down for his seventh on the day. This is the spot Gage Peterson wants to be in. Racking up these strikeouts.
Absolutely. And for the folks invested in our wonderful side broadcast in the state of Georgia, Rory McIlroy still in first at the Masters.
No surprises there. Still at 12 under as he was yesterday.
Absolutely. And you know, Austin, I could really go for a pimento cheese sandwich right now.
I would too. Davis Mosley up to bat as he takes that one down for ball one. What would be your Masters order? You have $10. What you getting at the concession stand?
I think, because, you know, everything is so, I mean, everything is well priced at the Masters because you spend, you know, 3 arms and 3 legs to get in the first place. But I think
Strike one called.
I like to eat light when it's hot out, you know, like I didn't eat too much. You know, we've got those trail mix and stuff like that, but I didn't eat crazy today. So I'm thinking 2 cucumber sandwiches, 2 pimento cheese sandwiches, and a nice big soft drink.
There we go.
Something to last me all day, and then I decide to go sit in my lawn chair and I watch guys play golf, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with you there. As ball two called there on the pimento cheese sandwich. I love a good pimento cheese sandwich. Probably have to go with the soft drink, and I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get the ice cream sandwich there, the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich they have. Ball three called. 3-1 count here.
That sounds wonderful right now.
It does. It wouldn't be great in the sun because we get milk in the sun.
Yeah,
Between 2 sugar cookies.
we do have our sound equipment and laptops here. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure the folks at WAC would be too happy about that. But
Peterson fires. Strike two called, full count, and he's one away from getting out of this inning with only that one kind of bad hit given up, but 3 down after that.
Peterson, I think, is a great game manager. You know, he never really lets anything get too far away from him.
Runner goes, but it won't matter as Mousy strikes out. And Peterson ends the inning with his 8th strikeout of the day. Don't go anywhere. App State is up 5 on the UL Monroe Warhawks, 8-3. Stay tuned to 9.5 WASU. Welcome back into 90.5 WSU, and Riley Luft is the one who belongs in the batter's box right now for the Mountaineers. The right fielder.
I tell you what, our wonderful patrons here at Jim and Betty Smith were just listening to our song by Taylor Swift, but I think the Mountaineers song today has been all scoring.
As a close friend of ours says when Riley comes to bat, Kermit, play Freebird. As a remix of Freebird is played for his walk-up song.
Seth Cooper, pitcher for the ULM Warhawks, taking a second, I think, to go ahead and get his bearings. And the ULM coach will come out to talk to the home plate umpire.
Looks like there's going to be a pitch comm change in the catcher's helmet, if I'm not mistaken.
I bet it's really fun to be an Oregon player at a baseball stadium.
Yes, again, that is top 5 jobs ever.
I think don't the Cubs still have a real one, don't they?
Yeah, most MLB teams still have a real one. I would love to see a real one in college.
Absolutely. I mean, App State, incredible music program here at Appalachian State. Wouldn't be too hard to set that up, actually.
Just the two of us as Cooper talks. Cooper talks to White out there as they'll head back there to their respective spots as we'll get ready for action in the bottom of the 4th.
Something very nice to see. You know, it's always nice to see the grandstand good and full here at Jim and Betty, but the hill right now is slammed. I mean, there's probably 200 fans out there.
Another quick interruption before we get play started here. I'm wondering what's going down there on the field. Again, for those who don't know, we are perched up just above home plate. By just above, I mean behind the whole concourse.
My personal conspiracy theory right now is that the ULM pitcher just wanted to hear Freebird a few more times.
Luft looks for, and he takes that one for ball 1 inside.
I wouldn't mind hearing Freebird a few more times. Maybe we'll get music rights one day for 90.5 WSU.
That one fouled way, not fouled, popped up in the infield. Play made there by the shortstop. That's be the first out of the inning.
I've got to be honest, I think that might be one of the highest flying pop flies I've ever seen not leave the infield. I mean, that was probably
Most
200
definitely.
feet.
Ethan Puig up to bat. Puig, 1 hit, 1 run scored, and 1 walk today. Puig takes that one, another fly ball. This one shallow territory. Withern comes in and makes the play, 2 away. Cam Miller had that blast last night over the left field wall, up to bat for them.
That's far, especially coming back from injury. You know, it's great to see these guys go ahead and start producing offensively so quickly.
That one low and away for ball 1. It's going to be windy.
Absolutely.
Miller kind of looked like he wanted to swing there. Watched it, decided not to, but it's called a strike. 1-1 count, 2 away. No runners on the bases.
It's always interesting seeing someone with kind of an oddball release because it's a bit harder to tell the timing of those pitches come in. And that one switched to a little bit more of an overhand. I think we might be seeing a little bit of a diversity from Seth Cooper in his releases today.
Ball 2 called there. That one down and away outside. Miller, again, he squares the swing here, but doesn't. 2's across the board here. That one called for a strike. Miller fouls that one away into the net.
Miller steps off the Steps out of the box. I think he might be having a little bit of trouble reading where these pitches are coming from.
Miller, again, every pitch of this at-bat as he strikes out there looked like he was going to try and swing, but just didn't. So, on 90.5 WASU.
Have a good day.
Welcome, everybody, back in as Micah Dean will fire that one deep into the left center gap. Charlie Evans attempted to make a play there, but he is down. He went down, slipping on the turf there.
Austin, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but I think Charlie Evans is not getting up.
This is not good at all.
The rest of the outfielders are going to meet with him. I think we may have an injury here. That turf gets so scary when it gets slick.
Evans doesn't look to have hit the wall, but still, if you slip on turf, it's...
And it's the slips that are always the worst. That's where ACL tears, MCL tears, Achilles tears, that's where that stuff comes from, and that's the nasty things.
Hope everything's good for Mr. Evans out. But that was a great shot there by Micah Dean, and just unfortunate there for Evans to get tripped up. We'll go to a quick break as we'll hope for the best for Charlie Evans.
Just got a little spoon.
All good for Evans as he will remain in the game. Just give everybody a quick second to reset. As Bryce Blasser will come up to bat for the Warhawks.
And me and Isaac were talking about this earlier, talking about our wonderful little pieces of information. I think, as I mentioned earlier, Bryce Blasser enjoys going to the beach. Sister Mackenzie played soccer at ECU, and he himself is an outfielder at ULM. Lots of nice little fun details about the Warhawks today.
UNC transfer.
Yes. He leads the Sun Belt in runs. Wow. And 4th in stolen bases and tied for 5th in OBP and 8th in hits. Blasser with a 320 average and 467 slugging. This guy's pretty mean at the plate.
Blasser will get in here. Blasser fouls that one back into the net. Would have gone kind of close to us if there was no net.
Absolutely.
That one fouled over our heads.
Oh
Bounces
my
into the
gosh.
Mountaineer Medics tent.
Hey, congrats. You're right there.
There we go.
It is interesting seeing the way that these two teams have maybe slowed down a little bit after the scoreless inning.
Runner goes home. They call him safe.
Well, I stand corrected. I was going to say that we maybe are seeing a slowdown after that big offensive burst, but ULM puts a score in. This can't be a scoreless inning anymore.
For those at home confused on what just happened there was a dribbler down the first base line. Zamora tries to make the play to Seward, but Peterson comes in actually to make it, correction. And that brings Hager in for a 4-8 score. Runner on first, no outs. Haggard drills that one, heading towards the wall, but Luft is there to make the play. No damage done there. Good defense by Riley Luft. That one was tracking like that earlier home run we saw by Charlie Evans, but would stay in the ballpark. Marcus Aranda up to bat for the Warhawks of UL Monroe.
Aranda, 2 at-bats today without much damage done, 2 strikeouts. And Gage Peterson still on the mound, still doing fairly well for the day.
Peterson will fire that one over to first. No out there, no movement. Well, there was movement, obviously, to slide back in, but he wasn't that far off the bag. Good ball straight down Broadway and a swing and a miss there by Aranda. That one fouled away for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 runner on and 1 out. That one fouled away into the trees, as Robert Smith would say, of the Cure. Count remains 2-2. Gift there of Gage Peterson reading a book there. What a great job the communications department's done. Dane Ray will be up to bat here. 2 outs, 1 on here in the top of the 5th. Peterson fires that one down the middle for strike 1. Again, Noah, a great turnout here. Fans still sticking around this lovely afternoon in the high country of North Carolina.
It's the kind of day where, honestly, even if App State right now was losing by 6, I just want to sit outside.
Me too. Strike 2 call there as Peterson looks to get his 10th strikeout of the game.
Peterson's personal career high is 11 strikeouts.
Was that game in that game was in Hickory, correction, if I'm wrong. Yeah, it was the Saturday game.
Yes. We won 13-3.
Notating on that. Again, the 10-run thrashing in the Blue Hose of Presbyterian. Peterson fires. That one is swung on for strike 3, and the side is retired. 1 stranded, 1 hit, 1 run as the Mountaineers take a Welcome everybody back into Jim and Betty Smith Stadium. Colton Denton up to bat for the Mountaineers here in the bottom of the fifth. App still leading 8-4 if you're just now joining us. Didn't hit by that one, as the Mountaineers will get one on the base path.
That's what, our third, fourth man hit by pitch today?
Yes, a lot. I think you've seen a lot of more in college nowadays.
Absolutely.
Jalen Seward up to bat for the Mountaineers.
And I think it's not necessarily on purpose. I think it's just when you mix that lack of control that we have at lower levels of baseball, along with the kind of pitches that these guys are aiming for, you wind up with a lot more guys just getting thumped.
That one skied away in foul territory. Play made there by Zach White for the first out of the inning. That one was right above the App State dugout, and it just came down barely in foul territory.
And I tell you what, if Zach White's looking for something to put on Hinge, that highlights the one.
For those now just tuning in, me and Noah looking at our spotter boards, saw Zach White's was essentially, his information was essentially a dating profile.
Yes, he enjoys hunting, fishing, and playing golf, and is a biology major at the University of Louisiana Monroe.
Jake Mamau up to bat for the Mountaineers. Mamau, his first of the season.
Well, now though, a really great game today. We've got one home run, we've got 2 runs, we've got 2 RBIs. I mean, it's a heck of a ball game.
That one called for ball 2, up and outside. Box for ball 3, correction.
We've still got a couple Warhawks sitting in the away bullpen. So, Ray, that seemed almost like he was their anchor man, and then he was gone basically as quickly as he came in.
Strike 1 called there.
Baseball.
3-1 count. Mamau fires away and misses there. Full count here, 1 away, 1 runner on. Denton goes. That one fired by Mamau, foul. Good knock, just went foul there.
That for just a split second looked like so many of the Mountaineer hits we've seen today that managed to sneak down that first base foul line, but just couldn't quite stay in.
ULM player runs out to go collect the ball. First, the kids, always good to see.
Yeah.
Fans and players interact like that. Denton went as that one's fired deep into right field, but he goes back, and that one's called for the second out there by Withorn.
That's the second attempt at a stolen base from Denton, and the second time he's going back. I guess at this point he's just getting his card even for the day.
Yes. Charlie Evans, who was shaken up earlier on that. Evans 1 for 2 with a triple today. An RBI also. And the tag beats him. They call him for the third out. So, the Mountaineers don't go anywhere. Stay tuned at 90.5 WASU.
Welcome back, everyone, to Beaver Field at Jim and Betty Smith Stadium, where me and my fellow patrons are watching a wonderful game of baseball as the Mountaineers lead the Warhawks 8-4. And once again, for those checking in from our wonderful side broadcast in the state of Georgia, Rory McIlroy still 12 under, with Cameron Young just behind him at 10 under, and Haotong Lee at 9 under. Gage Peterson still on the bump for the Mountaineers. I think we're going to see just a little bit more of him today, probably just enough to break his personal record of 11 strikeouts. We'll see if that happens. I'm hoping it happens, but I always hope for the best. I'm a bit of an optimist myself as the first pitch goes in for ball one against redshirt senior infielder Cade DuPont. And Cade DuPont hits this one right in the gap. Charlie Evans goes for it, but can't quite get it, and it bounces out of the stadium.
It's the second ground rule double we've seen today.
I think Evans was a little bit disappointed by that one. DuPont, as we mentioned earlier, DuPont leads the SBC in OBP and HBP and is 8th in batting average. He enjoys playing ping pong and pickleball. Zach White, who, I mean,
Man of the hour.
We've just heard so much about Zach White today. He's already lined up for the sacrifice bunt. He didn't wind up going for the sacrifice bunt, but he got to the plate, and before Gage Peterson had even set up, held the bat as though it was a sacrifice bunt. So that's just quite funny. Counts 1-0. Gage Peterson's first ball in goes for first pitching goes for a ball. Nothing unusual for Gage Peterson, who Vincent Van Gage really likes to paint those corners. And that one goes in for a strike. Counts 1-1, no outs. And ULM's really picked it up. Last time I did play-by-play, ULM was searching for their second hit. Now they're searching for their sixth. With a man on second in Cade DuPont, we're starting off pretty electric for this inning thus far. And that's a swing and a miss for Zach White. That's strike two. Counts 1-2-0. And 5 o'clock hits. This crowd's starting to get a little thinner at Jim and Betty, but Mountaineer fans hold strong. That hill's still bumping. I'll tell you what, I'm going to stand up. And that one's fouled off. Still 2-2-0. And Gage Peterson paying extra attention to Cade DuPont at second base. This really is a whole new world standing up, actually. Wow, this is incredible. That is not a check swing. Zach White starts to move the bat, but it's considered safe, and that's in for ball three. And once again, it's a full count for Peterson. Peterson settles in, look to second. And that's ball four. Peterson will walk Zach White, and we now have a man on first and a man on second. And I think the Mountaineers are going to be a little tense out here in the infield.
So we'll have a mound meeting. They look like we will be seeing some new action from that Mountaineers bullpen.
So tragically, no record breaks today. Gage Peterson with a whopping 10 strikeouts today. Absolutely absurd.
Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to 9.5 WASU.
All right, great news, folks. Here at 90.5 ASU, we have the wonderful privilege to tell you that today is a sidearm on sidearm
It is.
day.
We have reached PAX baseball.
Folks, This is the ideal day. We have number 24, Everett Harris, our sidearm pitcher for the Mountaineers, as well as number 29, Seth Cooper for the ULM Warhawks. And folks, I'm electric right now. I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. Sidearm pitching. It's the peak of pitching baseball. I love Everett Harris's windup.
I love his walkout sound. He comes out of Stairway to Heaven. I mean, just a great song. Noah, what's your favorite Led Zeppelin song?
Oh my gosh.
We're having a 45-minute conversation over this.
So a couple weeks ago, I was shooting the UNC Asheville game for the Appalachian, our student newspaper here at Appalachian State. And we had to go into the Don and Pat Phillips indoor practice facility because of a lightning delay. And when I came out, the sky was pink and the sun was going down, and they were playing the Rain song.
Full in the Rain? Dun, 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 dun,
No,
dun.
the Rain
Oh,
song.
my bad. Correction.
And it was beautiful, and it was wonderful. That is my favorite. Tangerine, also lovely.
There we go.
I love, really, introspective, slow Led Zeppelin. When they're not, thrashing around.
They're not Immigrant Song or something like that.
It's the calm, the soft Led Zeppelin, I think is just, it's absolutely beautiful. And I think, with Everett Harris's wind-up, it's like we've got our own Hideo Nomo, right? It's like he doesn't wind up, he winds around. He brings that front leg all the way around to his back hip, and then he slings it out to the side. It's incredible to watch. And we've got Garrett Withorn. In 2 at-bats, we've got 1 run, no hits. And they line up for the sacrifice bunt already, and it goes straight past Denton, and 2 men advance. DuPont and White advance to third and second. And, man, this just ain't Denton's day, I think.
Not at all.
We've had a lot of jobs. We've had a lot of things go by, and I think it's obviously not costing the Mountaineers. We're up by 4 right now, but it's the kind of thing where you're winning with an asterisk.
Yeah.
And that one's going to go by Garrett Withorn for ball 2. Counts 2-0, no outs here at the top of the 6th. And this crowd is still going strong. It's wonderful. We got the ULM boys all on the fence. I think this is a much closer game than the score expresses as Withorn clicks it away down the third baseline foul. And it's 2-1. And if my memory is correct, I'm going to be a nerd here. Gage Peterson's number was 42, and now we're at 24.
There we go.
Isn't that so fun? As Garrett Withorn is hit by the pitch by Everett Harris, and the bases are going to load with no outs here at the top of the 6th. We've had a couple thumps today. I think the teams are going to go ahead and have to invest in the ibuprofen.
Most definitely.
And Davis Mosey, who's done quite a bit of damage today, 2 runs.
He represents a tying run for the Warhawks.
Yeah.
It's be a whole new ball game, depending on what Mosey does.
And that one goes foul down the third base. Wait. Yes. That one goes, sorry. A little bit of confusion on the field. Everyone kept running. That one goes foul down the third base line. And, yeah, Mosey's not too happy walking back to home plate now. That was almost a run in. And I'll tell you what, on a day like today, where there's so many people here, it's so fun to see the diversity in jerseys because we have lots of people show up to Boone. It's a beautiful area, lots of tourists, and so I see Orioles jerseys, I see Padres jerseys, I see some Mariners stuff. I saw a guy in a Budweiser jersey. I didn't know those guys played baseball.
I didn't know.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do. That's a weird jersey. A lot of Braves jerseys.
Lots of Braves jerseys. There's talk about them expanding in North Carolina as pitch goes in for strike 1 against David Mosey.
Here's my thoughts on that.
Yes.
If they're an American League team in Raleigh, that's fine. That's good. I'd get behind it. Obviously, I'd still be a Braves fan, but
I understand.
Any team in Charlotte, I'm not supporting. Actually, correction. What? Actually, no. Correction. Any National League team, I'm not supporting. No. Because they mean the NL East. Yeah, no.
Yeah, this guy's.
No.
So, for the folks at home, to let you in on some personal beef, I am a diehard Mets fan, right? Let's go Mets. I grew up watching, Noah Syndergaard, right? The Dark Knight. I love the Mets. Austin, my friend here, is a Braves fan.
Yes.
And we go at each other relentlessly about this. And I'd just like to say that only one of the two teams at this table has made the playoffs in the last 3 years. As another one goes foul. Counts 1 and 2 with no outs for David Mosey, and everyone.
We both made the playoffs last time. Same year, 2024. We both were playoff teams, 2024.
Braves made the playoffs?
Yeah. That was the game we got moved around because Helene. So the Braves and Mets played a doubleheader, and they split the doubleheader and both celebrated because they both made the playoffs.
See, now I've exposed myself as not much of a ball knower. This is terrible news for me.
I know more ball than sorry, I forgot more ball than you know.
Wow, that's aggressive. And Mosey back at the plate. Not much movement here in the last Hunt is going to score. White is going to score, and the Warhawks bring it up 8-6 with 2 more men on base.
Sure, if you want to be in right now for the Mountaineers, because I mean you've got the leading run for UL Monroe at the plate right now.
Absolutely, and 2, we've got this fresh pitcher in. We've just gotten rid of Gage Peterson. You don't want to lose this game because you lose the man that you had so much faith in Gage Peterson. I'm starting to sweat a little bit up here, folks. That wind's kicking in. You see the jerseys flying. Here's the pitch, and there's a sacrifice bunt, and it looks as though everyone is going to advance, but scoring position, and we've only got 1 out in the inning. Youch.
You've got the tying run in scoring position for the Warhawks of UL Monroe. Correction there. I turned myself up just quite a little bit, as looks like we'll be heading to the bullpen again. That'll be Everett Harris's day.
Well, for a brief, fleeting moment, we had a world entirely populated by sidearms.
And there was great rejoicing throughout the land.
Yes.
And now there's not anymore.
No, I mean, unless they just keep it, in which case we could just be.
Yeah, bad news for you. We've got someone running in from the bullpen. Don't go anywhere.
No.
Stay tuned to 90.5 WASU.
All right, folks, welcome back to 90.5 WASU, where we have yet another.
It's a tough one. I didn't really get into them that big until this year.
The music, and then some of it's like really, really hard rock.
Yeah.
Jack Black says that Led Zeppelin is the greatest rock band ever, and while I don't know if I agree, I think they're definitely like top 15.
They're top 5 rock bands. I mean, if we're gonna take like, what's your definition? Are we talking like rock and roll?
I mean, I don't know. Just rock, like
it's just rock. Yeah, obviously you get like the Beatles.
When I think of like the term,
I'm gonna listen to Led Zeppelin over the Rolling Stones, and I'm just gonna leave that take out there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Some WASU fan probably just threw their computer across the room.
Yes, most definitely. But no, I listen to Led Zeppelin any day over the Rolling Stones.
I like the Stones though.
And they're not bad, obviously.
Wild Horses, great song.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Sweet Virginia, great song.
Yes. I'll give you 3. Aforementioned Fool in the Rain.
Okay.
Over the Hills and Far Away.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, is it the weird like Brawny or Stomp?
No, Dire Maker.
Oh, I know Dire Maker. Yeah.
It's a weird song, but I don't know. I like it.
And I think that's what I said earlier. When Led Zeppelin is willing to get a little soft, get a little weird, lose the harsh edge, that's when they become the most fun. As Bryce Blazer steps up to the plate. And Ren Watson, first pitch of the day for him. Let's see how it goes. Man on third, Garrett Whitthorne. Man on second, David Mosey. And just up by 2 runs. I don't envy the situation here on the bump. Here's the pitch. And that one's right down the middle for strike 1.
Look, a little weird, awkward release there by Watson, but I mean, it was just beautiful.
If we did ABS, I think it would be dead center.
Didn't look very fast, but again, dead center.
And that one's a little high for ball one. I like Ren Watson. You know, I got the chance to really appreciate that about the Mountaineers. You know, the depth chart for the pitching staff is deep and talented. You know, when a man goes away for the night, you're not worried that you're going to blow up the game whenever he's gone.
No.
And that one's low and outside for ball two. Counts 2-1 with one out. And now we're all tied. Also the tied member. We're not tied up. I mixed up myself. I'm very sorry for the folks at home. And that one's in for strike two. Counts 2-2. And the fans are happy about that one. Another one just kind of right in the middle.
Yeah, different delivery, but very similar to that very first pitch he threw.
And that one's hit to second base. That one's going to be right toss to first base. And Blazer's going to be out at first.
Law and Order sound effect plays there.
Garrett Withorn will score, and it is now 8-7. So Blazer hits it out in between first and second base, and Withorn scores. And Mosey will advance, but Blazer will be out as Jake Haggard comes up to the plate.
Little meeting there between ULM head coach Ford Pemberton and his base runners.
And I tell you what, you get up to all sorts of little side quests at baseball games. Some people fill out scorecards.
Some people talk about Led Zeppelin.
Some people talk a little bit about Led Zeppelin. These people in front of us are doing a crossword.
What a way to spend a Saturday afternoon.
I know.
Baseball and crossword.
Baseball, crossword, 75 degrees. That's pretty good, actually. That's important. Jake Haggard up at the plate. 2 outs. And Ren Watson trying to navigate his way through what thus far has been a pretty tough inning. And that one's high and outside for ball one.
So we've seen 2 pitching changes this inning.
Yeah.
Start with Peterson, went to Everett Harris, and now at Ren Watson.
Here's pitch 2. And that one's right down the middle for strike 1. He really gets these down the middle pitches by these batters.
Again, we talk about how Peterson was a chemist. Ren Watson's a chemist too.
Absolutely. It's not necessarily about throwing one, be about that one. Crowd's starting to get a little lit up.
Starting to line up a little bit too. Just seeing more empty seats as the Mortal Kombat sound effect will come in there.
Here's the pitch. And that one's clicked over to short. And that's going to go to first. And he's going to be safe at first. And the fans are not happy about this one. But I think that's fairly reasonable.
I think that's the right call, too.
I think that's the right call. And ULM, I believe, is going to score. And that ties it up.
We're tied here at Smith Stadium. Wow.
That's what, a 5-run comeback?
5-run comeback, yeah, and over 2 innings. Noah's in disbelief here.
Yeah, I know. I'm shocked. Youch. We've got Marcus Aranda up to bat, and that one's low and inside.
We have some Texas A&M fans at the ballpark today.
More examples of our widely diverse jersey and merchandising choices. And that one's low and inside for a strike. Just touching the inside of that strike zone with Jake Haggard on first. Counts 1-1 with 2 outs. And we're all tied up. What a tragedy. I tell you what, though, I can't hit the Warhawks too much. And that one's going to go down the third baseline foul, strike 2. I attended Schwartz Lower Elementary School in West Monroe, Louisiana.
There we go.
Yes, I lived there for several years, me and my family.
Nice.
My first ever college football game was a ULM whiteout game. Fun fact for the folks at home.
I grew up in the upstate of South Carolina, so I went to a lot of Clemson baseball games growing up. My first One of my first memories at a college baseball game was a Clemson App State baseball game.
And that one is knocked way out to left field, and that one is gone. And the Warhawks are going to take the lead back. The App State Mountaineers let a win out from the jaws of victory, and the Warhawks are going to have their way. 10-8 up here at Jim and Betty Smith Stadium.
And Watson was a pitch or two away from being out of this inning. Up 7-8. And now you're down 2.
ULM has scored 6 runs in this inning, and there's still 2 outs as Dane Ray comes up to the plate. I wonder if we'll have another mound visit soon, but quite honestly, Austin, there's not that many guys left in the depth chart.
No, you at least let Watson get out of the inning.
Let's hope he can.
Maybe some of those people trying to go home early are coming back to their seats now just because you've got a really good ball game still.
Good time for a refill, good time for a hot dog. If I was 21, good time for something more than a refill or a hot dog. 10-8, folks.
10-8.
And that pitch goes in for strike 2. Counts 0-2 with 2 outs. And Ren Watson might make it out of this inning yet. Swing and a miss. And that is finally going to end what was an absolutely treacherous inning for the Mountaineers. 6 runs led up by the Warhawks as ULM takes the lead back and App State falls behind 10-8. Don't leave yet, folks. We got more baseball. We'll see where it goes. We're on 90.5 WASU. All right, folks, welcome back to Jim and Betty Smith Stadium, where we have a very different game than we reported to you, as the Mountaineers have let a 5-run lead come to pass. And the first pitch from new ULM pitcher number 41, Holden Hess, will come in for a ball against senior outfielder Tank Yakubi. Holden Hess, a 4-year, that one shot right in the gap into center field, and Yakubi's going to get on base against Holden Hess, the 4-year of New Orleans, Louisiana. You ever been to New Orleans?
No, I've never been to St. Louisiana.
Oh, well, I mean, wonderful state, wonderful city, wonderful people.
Wonderful food, I've heard.
You have no idea. Like, genuinely, you have no idea. Being in Boone, there's nothing like it up here, and it's quite sad. You could find some stuff like that in like Greensboro, Raleigh, a lot of stuff in Durham. And it's Joseph Zamora, who subbed in earlier for Steve Smith on the plate. That one will go in for strike one.
Joseph Zamora, the brother of a World Baseball Classic player for Nicaragua.
Incredible. Lots of baseball pedigree we've seen here today. We've seen several guys with extended family that have played pro, and Joseph Zamora with the World Baseball Classic relative, and lots of baseball represented here today at App State and at ULM. That pitch is going to go in for a ball. Counts 1-1, no outs. And the Mountaineers right now are trying to claw back what they seem so securely to have. And that was going to go in for ball 2.
My main question for you, have you had an alligator?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yes.
I'm debating trying it at some
point.
point.
It is good. It is hard to explain.
I've heard it's like chicken, no joke, it's actually like chili chicken.
It's like, it's like the best fish you ever had. And that one shot right into right field, and that's a routine pop fly. And our man at first base, Tank Yakubi, is going to go ahead and run on. Riley Luft is going to hit the plate. I believe Riley Luft has done a decent amount of damage today. 3 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 run. Not a bad day. Batting .301, 30 RBIs. And I think between him and Yakubi, there might be some chances for some damage here so early on in this inning. Here's the pitch. And that one shot right past the pitcher. And it's going to be a double play. But Riley Luft is going to be safe at first. Not quite the double play. They nail Yakubi, but Luft stays in, which is great because now I get to talk about alligator. We don't have to go to break yet. Isn't that awesome, folks?
Yes. So it's like the best fish you ever had.
Yeah, it's dense. Like when you have like a whitefish, like a catfish or something like that, it's really flaky and fluffy, but alligator has this nice hearty density to it, but still that really nice soft whitefish flavor. And it makes it so that it's like really well applicable anywhere. It's great fried, like pan fried, like sauteed, and it's also great like deep fried. It's great in soups and sandwiches and things like that. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy it. And I highly recommend it. Gator sausage is great.
Oh, I've had gator boudin, I think, one time.
Yes.
Or I've had maybe. More importantly, Ethan Puig up to bat. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be Ethan Puig up to bat. And I lost my other. Oh my gosh, somebody got it. Strike. Ball one or pitch one's gonna go in for a strike. Counts 0-1 with 2 outs. And Puig's gonna hit one high and foul. But it's going to be caught, and there's out number 3 for the day. That is a quick half inning for the Mountaineers as they do not find any runs to make up the deficit, and it's getting to be pretty sweaty here at Jimmy Betty Smith Stadium. Come back to 90.5 WASU. App State Mountaineers try and claw back a lead that's still on the mound even after the 6 bats, 2 hits, 1 run, and 1 double. It's been a rough day.
It's been a rough day. There's been a lot of food.
Trail mix. Mountaineers.
Yeah.
Perspective, starting off Zach White at this point. And fishes.
With him.
Speaking of golf, Young, 10 under. Pitch 2 goes in for ball 2, counts 2-0 with 1 out, no men on base. Zach White, our catcher for the Warhawks, at the plate, and that was going to. I appreciate the commitment to the bit with the Masters as pitch goes in for ball number 3.
It's obviously, I mean, it's
They've
the
never,
best golf tournament. It's
yeah,
the best tournament in my opinion.
and at no
It's like, I
point,
mean, or one of the best tournaments in my opinion.
like the Masters is like the Costco hot dog. Like there's nothing wrong with it, and so they just refuse to change any of it.
Yeah.
As Zach White is walked by Ren Watson, and
It's-
now there is a man on base.
It's perfect how it is.
Garrett Withorn comes up to the plate.
And the concessions part of the hot dog and the Masters and the concessions, the Masters are cheap.
Like the Masters are cheap. I guess the tickets are wicked expensive, and that
Yeah.
like stinks. But like they'd never allowed advertisers in, like to advertise around the golf course. You know, like Pinehurst and the U.S. Open. So many of these other golf
Yeah.
tournaments sort of change all the time, and now you have that alternative golf league that's like
Live.
live golf. It's like WWE if it was golf. As pitch 1 goes in for ball 1. But the Masters, they're just like, yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, no, they've done nothing wrong. I mean, it's great. Masters ticket lottery. I've always debated entering just to see what would happen, but they're still not cheap at all. They're like, I think $400 the whole week, but that's
That's
400.
actually kind of a steal.
That's actually not correction. That's not that bad. If you get a whole week for $400, correction if I'm wrong.
And that's a deep hit to left field, and it's gone. Another home run for the Warhawks. And it's a 2-run home. You what, Mountaineer fans are not happy, but Warhawks fans are rejoicing. This is a series that neither of these teams can lose. These guys are duking it right now for 5th in conference. And the Warhawks, I tell you, the Warhawks have been smithing today.
Most definitely.
And I'm scared for at-bats. 1 hit, 3 runs. And that one's way high for ball 1. I can hear the Warhawks fans on the far side
Trinity in the ballpark, burgundy and gold.
And that's another one high for ball 2.
Jim and Betty's not a huge place, but again, when it gets loud, it gets loud.
Absolutely. And I think this exact thing, when you get all the fans in such a small space, because we have the hill and then we have the grandstand. And that's really it. There's no outfield seating. The third base line is for Don and Pat Phillips indoor practice facility. When you get everybody in this tight vicinity and they're all just looming over home plate, it gets pretty scary as a mound visit comes up for Ren Watson. Not a big mound visit, just some friendly words from your catcher, Colton Denton, who's also had a bit of a rough day. I think the Mountaineers are losing some of the sharpness on the blade here.
Well, we can look back to early, like in the third dive.
Absolutely. And even now, ULM, perfect game when it comes to errors, a big goose egg on the board, but App State, there's that big glaring 2. You have to wonder what would have happened. David Mosey still on the plate, counts 2-0 with 1 out. Even after the home run, we still have a lot of time before ULM's going to wind.
Under that 1 for App State. They know they can do it.
Absolutely. But it goes back to that conversation we had way at the beginning of this game.
Yeah, it says, the hype video for college football said, when the band ain't playing, the cheerleaders ain't cheering. That's when you win championships.
Absolutely, as the pitch goes in.
That'll be a fun ride down the mountain.
And that counts 2-2. Mosey's going to step out of the batter's box, and Ren Wilson's going to step off the mound. I think everybody's just trying to collect their thoughts. The clouds have covered the sun up. Everything's real dark and quiet.
See you on the dark side of the moon.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the dark side of the moon, the Artemis rocket just got back.
Yeah, they got back. Congratulations to them. And that's another one high and foul. That one looks even closer. Watson right now. Both of them are trying to collect their thoughts. Lots of steps outside of the box, off the mound, trying to duke out what is this at-bat while we still have only 1 out on the board. Ren Watson does have a little bit of breathing room. He's only on 2-2 on the count. He's got 1 ball left in him. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a little quicker. Watson's going to pick it up, throw it to first. And Mosey's going to be safe. And I tell you what, in that long psychological duke out, Mosey's going to be the one that comes home victorious as another man gets on base for the University of Louisiana Monroe Warhawks.
Do want to give a shout out to Christina Koch, the Jacksonville, North Carolina native, on the Artemis mission.
Oh my
Artemis
gosh.
2. As we will have a pitching change here.
Yep. Mound visit. It looks like they're going to take Ren Watson off the bump. And I honestly, a reasonable decision. 4 hits, 4 runs with Ren Watson in just 2 innings. And we've got everybody coming up. Catcher's coming up, Kermit's coming up, coach is coming up, outfielder's coming up. Many more people come up, Austin, and I think we're going to be allowed to go up there.
Yeah. You getting loose, Noah?
Yeah.
We threw the ball the other day, so.
Oh yeah, I think I'm more of a knuckleball guy, you know.
Yeah.
Just real soft knee, chuck it in. It's going to be number 3. I asked Will Battershell, Austin, this question several weeks ago. If Logan Tibbet is from Amarillo College, do you think when he comes back to school after winter break, he goes Amarillo by morning?
Possibly. So we've got Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and George Strait now mentioned.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll be here all week,
and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones
Tip
also.
your waitresses. Amarillo College played 2 seasons there, 6.3 ERA, 4.35 ERA this season with the Mountaineers. It's interesting that he's managed to up that ERA to deep depth chart guy for the Mountaineers, a big, fairly consistent backup at High Point, and now we're seeing him again tonight. Let's hope he can dig it out, man.
He needs to stop the bleeding. I hate to interrupt you there, but he needs to stop the bleeding right now for the Mountaineers.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I was just about to say is we're down 4 runs at this point. You have to cauterize the wound. You have to get the offensive production from the Warhawks to stop. They have scored more in the last 2 innings than they did in the entirety of the 5 innings before that.
It's insane.
I think the Everett Harris and then Ren Watson, just that inconsistency in pitching and that willingness and ability to let things slide a little bit. I mean, if you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. If you give ULM some inconsistency in pitching, they're going to go ahead and score 8.
Yes. Tibbet all warmed up, and let's get ready to roll.
And we've got number 12, Micah Dean, sophomore outfielder up. Dean today, 1 run, 3 hits, 2 doubles. And I tell you what, watching those stat sheets climb up, these ULM Warhawks guys have just been so destructive with the baseball bat in these last few innings. Micah Dean checks in with Davis Mosey at first base, a little bit of airmail. And here's the first pitch. High and just down the middle for ball 1. Tibbet making sure to check in on his man at first. Warhawks 2. There goes the steal. Didn't get it. That man at first was a good idea for Logan Tibbet. Denton manages to make up for some of his mistakes in the day as we go to 2 outs here at the bottom of the 7th. Counts 1-1 against Micah Dean. And that's a swing and a miss. And now it's 1-2.
This is a good position right now for Tibbet. Just get out and stop the bleeding.
Absolutely. Get away with very little scoring. Gets you good, go ahead and start off hot. Get in a nice headspace in this next half inning here at the top of the 8th. Winless inning thus far as ULM goes up by 2 more for 12-8. And folks, there might be some crazy baseball coming up your way. You never know, and you won't know unless you tune in at 90.5 WASU. All right, folks, welcome back to 90.5 WASU. We have Holden Hess on the mound, Bam Bam Cam Miller on the plate, and an opportunity perhaps for App State to finally start punching back in what has looked like a game of rope-a-dope here in the last couple innings. I mean, ULM 9 runs in the last 3 innings as the first pitch goes in for a strike. A little bit of hesitance out of Cam Miller, and I think App State's got to get back on the horse. We've got to start fighting back. You got to make up that 4-run deficit. Let's see if they do. Pitch 2. Cam Miller swing and a miss. Counts 0-2 with no outs. Cam Miller, I think he's been a little bit shaky in these last few innings trying to navigate these pitches. You know, some moments he's hesitant. Some moments he just swings on through when he really shouldn't. But I think when you're coming back from injury, you get that break. I believe in you, Cam. We love you. Pitch 3. Whip to it. It just straight into the ground. That was a beeline right into the turf. So that's 1 out for the Mountaineers as Colton Denton, the catcher, comes up to face the seemingly ever dangerous Holden Hess. Denton today, 2 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 run, and 1 strikeout. And that first pitch is in for ball 1.
Just saw that one high.
Where Cam Miller did to the shortstop, but he's tagged out at first. And that's our 2nd out.
Just not good from the Mountaineers these past few innings. This has not been what you wanted.
Definitely not.
Imploded on defense and been silent on offense.
Last 3 innings have been scoreless for the Mountaineers, and these last 2 at-bats have just gone straight to ULM's Micah Dean. 2 men tagged out at first. No men on base yet. As Jalen Seward steps up to the plate, is he our great hope?
A new hope.
And that's right in the gap, and he's going to get on base. He is the hope, perhaps. At least he's on base. You know,
Possibly.
It's a start. It's a start. It's a start. Next up is going to be Jake Mumau.
Sometimes when he's up to bat, you'll hear from the Mountaineers dugout, moo.
Jake Mumau, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Fairly destructive early today with the bat, but honestly, no one on this roster has been fairly destructive late in the game with the bat. We've not scored since the 3rd inning. First pitch goes in, and that's a little outside for a ball. And I think Jalen Seward is raring to go.
In college baseball, you might have a different call there.
And that one's way outside. Seward not happy about that call. Oh, perhaps not out. Well, where are we going? I think there seems to be a kerfuffle. ULM has left the field. But Seward's still on base.
Challenge call here.
Challenge, that's what I thought. It's hard to hear in the headphones sometimes, folks. So we're going to see whether or not this was truly an out for that movement from Jalen Seward.
This one shouldn't be too hard. I think he's clearly out. It was a terrible attempt to steal there.
Yeah, and he seemed like he got tagged, honestly, like 6 or 7 feet from the – not a 6'7" joke.
Oh, yeah.
I swear that's not a 6'7" joke.
You're okay.
For the folks at home, not a 6'7" joke. I think that was genuinely – he was actually tagged something like 7 or 8 feet. Like a full body's width away from the bag. But Mountaineer fans, we cling on to hope. I'm clinging on to hope.
You just got to believe, as your fan base says.
Hey, don't stop believing.
What?
Oh, my gosh. We've got Led Zeppelin, George Strait, Journey, the Beatles.
I guess half of Bon Jovi because for some reason my mind thought Living on a Prayer.
Yes. Half of Bon Jovi. The Cure.
The Cure.
We're full of musical references today
Yes.
here at 90.5 WASU.
We are a radio station.
This is my fellow photographer, Jackson Snipes. Jackson, name a band. Okay, he
There we
says
go.
Leonard Skinner. We've got more music today. Yeah, lots of musical references for 90.5 W. You know, we are at the end of the day a radio station,
We are.
and at the end of the day, most of what we play is music, right? So it makes sense. Everyone, when you're done, when you're on your ride home, tune in to 90.5 WSU.
Get off the YouTube.
Get off YouTube.
Get on the app.
Yeah.
Get on the website or get on the radio.
Exactly.
90.5 WSU if you are in the high country.
Wonderful musical options. And if you're not in the high country, there's a 90.5 WASU app. So you don't even have an excuse not to tune in.
We are the app.
We are 90.5 WSU, the app. Your go-to radio station here in the high country for the Appalachian State Mountaineers, who are losing by 4.
Speaking of losing, we've got Animals by Maroon 5 on, and there was a running joke I've had with my friends. It's like Maroon 5 made songs about Jane and decided as a band they're never going to make a good song again. Oh, I don't think that's fully true.
Boy, you're full of, And that is the end of the inning. Seward was out the whole time. And, folks, we go to the top of the 8 here as App State goes for a 4th scoreless inning, still hunting to make up that deficit. More baseball when we come back.
Welcome, everybody, back in. It is the top of the 8th, and if you're just now joining us, you've missed a heck of a ball game. ULM leads at 12-8 over App State.
On the mound, we've still got number 36, Amarillo College transfer Logan Tibbett, who managed to scrape by the end of the last inning fairly okay.
That one fouled away for long, strike 1.
Bryce Blazer today still really dangerous. 3 RB in the McDonald's.
Yes. That one, again, fouled away, long, strike 2.
This is a scary time for Logan Tibbett, I think, right now. Gage Peterson, I mean, at the end of the day, Gage Peterson is absolutely incredible, and he did a great job of at a point where they're already up by 4.
That one fouled over the App State clubhouse. Just go chase foul balls the entire time.
I don't know about you, Austin. I still do that at 20.
That one hit down by Blazer into left field. That'll get down for a hit. Looks to go to 2. Stays at first, though. Jake Haggard up to bat. Haggard so far on the day. We wait for the live stats to.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, the scary moment right now for Tibbett isn't even necessarily these base hits. Apparently now it's the home runs.
Yeah.
ULM now 2 different multiple. Yeah, I don't know. It's like what's the stuff from Space Jam? Michael's Secret Stuff.
Yes.
I guess they're keeping that in the dugout because these guys are suddenly hitting bombs.
Or they burn down there in Vale.
Yeah, coming from Louisiana, you asked 2 questions. Is it Michael's Secret Stuff or voodoo magic?
That one high, almost at Haggard's head. Ball 1 called. Runner goes. Fouled back, though, for strike 1. Blazer wanted all of that one, but Haggard makes contact, fouls it back to no avail of him going to second. One down in the dirt, hopped over the plate.
2 hours ago now, where it's, you're not necessarily trying to bomb things away. You're just trying to hang on to this lead long enough to go ahead and win.
Holds out and takes this one. That one fired over. They're going to hold him at third, though. He could have had a shot to make it home.
I genuinely, I think if he'd go ahead and round it and kept that speed going, I think he'd have nailed it. And that's the third error for the day.
Yeah, this is not the situation you would be if you're App State.
Beyond inefficiencies. Sometimes you go up, I think that happens a lot when App State plays Wake. We play Wake basically every year. And the issue we run into there is it's not necessarily that we're a worse team. It's just that Wake is Wake, right? It's this baseball institution. They've won a College World Series. And so they have these recruiters, guys that hit bombs. They have some of the best ball players in the country. And sometimes you just can't quite edge guys out, right? You just don't quite have the size or the strength. This is not the case.
Ball 4, take your base, Jake.
This is not the case. App State and ULM are in.
Reminder, those two-run shots don't beat you.
Absolutely.
No, those do not beat you. That's not why you're losing right now.
You don't lose, baseball is lost in the nitty-gritty. And that's where App State finds themselves getting stuck, is in the nitty-gritty.
Mark Saranda up to bat. Aranda 1 for 4 today with a home run, though. Can he add another? No, he will not. Play. They're going to hold him in a pickle. They won't get him. Will they? They get him! So you get it out there, but in the non-traditional way, and you get rid of your most permanent run threat, as there was a pickle the whole third base line. And I don't disagree with the call to throw to home at first.
Absolutely not. I think especially with the way ULM has been playing, they are looking to extend this lead as much as possible. Go ahead and nail in that ball at home. Go ahead. It goes ahead and cuts that potential scoring opportunity off at the pass. And then you're just playing a nice little game of hot potato to go ahead and get the guy out.
Dane Ray up to bat for the Warhawks. Ray takes that one low for ball 1. Ray is 0 for 4, but you still can't. Momentum's on ULM's side right now.
Exactly. Especially after seeing
Ray will hit that one, drifting in the foul territory. Luft does not make a play on it. Hops over. Some kids get the ball.
Miranda 1 for 4 on the day, but with a homer.
Yeah.
You are seeing the biggest plays out of some of the most unexpected players right now. You can't let anything go by. Baseball teams die in underestimation.
Tibbet fires that one high. Ray kind of slides out of the way. I don't think it was justified really to slide there. Not really, the slide will kind of shuffle his head back.
That's another good example of the conversation we had earlier where I don't think it's an intentional attempt to put these batters in danger. It's just sometimes you're going for that breaking ball, sometimes you're going for the odd pitch, and you just get a little bit out there.
Yeah. That one just barely outside, and again, he backs away there. I mean, to be fair, he is standing pretty close up in the box.
Yes, this is a right over home plate kind of guy. I was never that kind of guy when I played.
Me either. 3-1 count. Ray ropes one. Yagubi tracking, won't get there. That one bounces up by the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. 2 runs will score. Yes, 2 runs will score. It is 14-8 now.
So
oh boy.
Now, patrons, we reach the really uncomfortable point where we have to have the conversation of, in spite of the fact that App State maintained a 5-run lead going into the third, we might end this game in a mercy rule. We're 4 runs from it.
Yeah.
That's awful.
And that's not impossible.
No.
Now, regardless if App State gets out this inning, there will be no mercy rule because you'll have at least one more shot.
Right.
The away team cannot beat you in the top of the 9th. Strike 1 there to DuPont.
In other news, with our simulcast in Georgia for our friends and patrons away, Cameron Young down 11, McElroy down 10, and Sam Burns also down 10. Schefter out of the picture at this point.
Not really. It's not over.
No, it's just he's kind of, as these guys have gone higher and higher, and that underneath, I think Schefter's starting to fall behind a little bit. He's still, down 6?
Scotty was at even started this morning.
Yeah.
And he shot a 65. He shot the lowest round the Masters has seen today. That one fouled away for strike 2 there. My apologies. Too busy talking about Scotty Scheffler. Okay, DuPont up to bat. DuPont's 2 for 4 today.
And that's another example here. DuPont, 2 for 4, but he's put in a run. He's put in a double. You can't let anything go by with
That
this
one
Warhawks team.
swing and a miss for strike 3. Tippett can breathe at least some. Got us out there. To bat, the catcher, Zach White, noted sportsman.
What do you like to fish? Do you fish?
Occasionally, strike 1 called there. Called a trout last time I called something.
Yeah.
I was out in Nantahala National Forest when I called it. Well, outside Nantahala National Forest. That's when I called it. That one fouled back away, and Tippett's ahead of the count. But there's a park down behind my house. We had a bunch of trout, a bunch of catfish. So,
I like fishing catfish.
Yeah.
Plus catfish, genuinely, I could chuck a shoe in the water and catfish would bite on it.
Probably. I remember the worst time I hooked one through the eye, so that was not pretty
That sucks.
picking up. That one dribbled down. Play will be made at first. Got him in time. But 2 runs on a couple hits, no errors as the side is retired. ULM leads 14-8 as we head to the bottom of the 8th here on 90.5 WASU. Welcome, everybody, back into Beaverfield at Jim and Betty Smith Stadium as Jake Muma up to bat for the Mountaineers as they're down to their final 6 outs with a 6-run deficit. Who saw this coming early on?
From a 5-run lead to a 6-run deficit. Youch.
You got 4 goose eggs in a row on the board for the Mountaineers as he takes ball 1.
The Mountaineers have not scored since the 3rd inning. Meanwhile, the ULM Warhawks have scored 11 in the last 4 innings.
Muma hits that one. Good contact, but picked up right there by the first baseman, Haggard, for the Warhawks. Charlie Evans, Chuck Nasty as they call him. It feels like so long ago. We were calling him Chuck Nasty last, but he's up to bat for the Mountaineers with 5 outs remaining for him.
People are going to come back to this broadcast later, and they're going to listen to it, and they're going to be able to track with a graph our level of optimism about this game.
Evans takes that one for ball 1.
Evans, fairly productive day. 1 triple, RBI, a hit, and 3 at-bats. It's a pretty good day thus far for Mr. Nasty.
Evans, deep. Play at the wall. It is not made. Charlie Evans gets it. He's going for 3. That could be his second triple of the day. Chuck Nasty, 2 triples on the day, and the Mountaineers have some life.
I bring up that graph of optimism, folks. That graph just spiked. That is exactly the kind of shot of adrenaline the Mountaineers need right now at this point in the game.
Tank Yagumi up to bat for the Mountaineers next. 1 out, runner on third, and now's the time you need to start chipping away.
Absolutely. This is where don't need to hit it big. We just need to start nailing those gaps, getting these runs in. Just start building that slow momentum. You've got 2 half innings left. What do you want with it?
That one high for ball 1. Yagumi kind of looked like he wanted that one. That was a bit outside for ball 2.
Charlie Evans, he's going ahead and creating a lot of that distance at third base. I don't know if we'll see a check out over at him, but I think he's definitely going to be looking for that scoring opportunity immediately.
That one, ball 3. And Yagubi's really ahead in this count. And again, that optimism is returning to the Appalachian State side.
Or
The
climb it
smiles
back
return
up.
to the faces. Another
Yes.
Beatles reference.
Yes.
Yagubi takes that one down the middle for strike.
Empty, but I think the fans that have stuck it out are going to be here for what might be a heck of a last 2 innings.
Yagubi fires that one. It will get down. That'll score. As Evans will score, and the Mountaineers score their first run since the third. 14-9. The Warhawks still lead it.
I believe that this is where it begins, folks. We might see the beginning of an App State slow comeback. That's our first run since about 4:25 p.m. this afternoon as Joseph Zamora steps up to the plate.
Zamora batting .287 on the year today. No hits, 0 for 1 as he came in earlier on in the game. Zamora, contact but foul at the wall.
Substitution for our two-way legend, Steve Smith. Zamora, while not necessarily super productive on the offensive side, has been fairly consistent on the defensive side as App State has tried to minimize the effect of ULM's crushing offense.
But I mean, to no really avails. He takes that one for ball 1. 6 across the board. That one high for ball 2. 2-1 count, 1 away. Runner on the first base line.
I will say this now. You look amongst the crowd and you see there's a lot of tension. People are on the edges of their seats. Folks are scratching beards.
That one will get down, but Zamora will be out. However, there is a runner in scoring position, and you're down 5. So, see what's going on.
I think fans are starting to realize the tense moments. They're realizing the momentum shift. The day may not be over yet.
Riley Luft up to bat. The sophomore batting .301 with 2 home runs and 30 RBIs. This is who you want right now if you're App State.
Absolutely. 2 hits and 1 run today.
Luft fires, going, but it'll look like play will be made by Mousy. That's the last out of the inning, but the Mountaineers claw one back. We head to a pivotal 9th inning here at Jim and Betty Smith Stadium. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to 90.5 WASU. Get hype, everybody, as we head to the top of the ninth here. Garrett Weethorn up to bat for the Warhawks. Has a home run on the day.
Yeah, if there is a moment to stop the bleeding and take care of the series, it's now.
Ryder, this series could be over in the win-loss column if you just handle, it's take a miraculous comeback for the Mountaineers, but if you handle business in that, yeah, that one taken way away. Weethorn kind of looked like he moved his bat off his shoulder, didn't really.
5 runs or more in an inning is clearly not absurd because both us and ULM have done it in this game. It's just, can we do it now in the 9th inning?
Weethorn fires that one left, tracking. Luft will make the play. That's one away. That's all you need for App State on defense.
Absolutely. What a great way to get the wheels on. Go ahead and catch that out. Luft, I mean, he probably ran 150 feet to catch that.
Davis Mosey up to bat for the Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe.
Mosey, I mean, he's been a horror today with the bat. 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 base hits. Utterly absurd.
And he just robbed App State of pretty big opportunity there.
Yes. I mean,
that one.
This is a great example of, how shocking these ULM comebacks have been, how shocking this ULM proficiency has been since the 4th. I mean, in the last hour, we've watched ULM transform into a completely different baseball team.
Ball called there for ball 2. The fans sticking it out. They've seen a very good game. Mosey says that hits him.
Can you challenge a hit by pitch?
I don't think you can, but if you could, I would if I'm Kermit Smith.
I mean, if
it might have clipped him. And
grazed him. Not to diminish being hit by a baseball, because I know that stinks.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
But that seemed like a grazing.
Micah Dean up to bat for the Warhawks. 2 doubles today.
Hey, actually no, Charlie Evans has 2 triples.
Yes. Dean pops that one up. Mamau will get under it. Actually, no, Zamora will get under it and get the out. 2 away. Law and order played. As Bryce Blazer looks to be, for what the Warhawks are hoping, and the Mountaineers are hoping also, the last batter of the day for UL Monroe.
Absolutely. I think ULM at this point, honestly, the smart thing for them to do, and I'm not saying this because I don't want them to score, the smart thing for ULM at this point is to go ahead and pass the torch. Don't allow yourself the opportunity to make any more mistakes. You're up by 5. Just go ahead and pass the ball.
I mean, maybe get a little bit more insurance because, it's baseball.
You
never know.
It is baseball.
But also, you're sitting pretty right now for ULM.
This is, as we said earlier, a low cortisol moment.
In a very high cortisol game.
Yes.
Runner goes. Ball bounces in there, but he is safe by a mile.
Denton has just been put through a blender today. The number of steals, the number of errors, it's just been absolute purgatory for Colton Denton.
Blazer lets that one go for strike 1.
And perhaps tragically most of all, he's the only freshman right now in a lineup that essentially decides our conference standings.
Yeah.
That's a tough place to be in when you're every bit of 18.
Yeah. Well, he's a redshirt freshman.
Oh, so every bit of 19.
Yes.
Boom.
Great play by Mamau to get out of it. And the final stand for the Mountaineers. Can they come back? You will only know if you stay tuned to 90.5 WASU on YouTube. It is decision time for the Mountaineers. Will they come back? Will they not? Down 5 here. Ethan Puig is the first batter up for the Mountaineers.
This is the kind of moment where, at the end of the day, you do choose your own destiny. Baseball is a game of statistics and chances and gambles, but when you decide whether you want it or not, when you decide whether you want to swing for the fences or not, that determines whether you're going to win a game or not.
That one taken low inside for ball 1.
We know both teams are capable. App State scored 5 in the very first just about 3 hours ago, and ULM scored 6 in the 6th just about an hour ago.
Puig chops that one behind him, foul.
So we know that both teams are capable of this. ULM was just held to their first scoreless inning in almost an hour and a half.
Oh, probably over an hour and a half.
Probably an hour and a half. Right now, this is the perfect opportunity for the Mountaineers to dig this one out.
Puig hits that one. We'll have to get lucky. Routine play made there, and there's 2 outs left for the Mountaineers.
And while it's nice to get a hit, we have to find ourselves digging in.
That was a good play from Dean to Haggard. Cam Miller got his first homer last night of the year. Been hurt for a while. This is where momentum needs to get back in the Mountaineer side.
And if there was ever a storybook play right now, it would be a big play from Cam Miller.
That one stays within the batter's box, though. That one way high, almost flew over the net, hit us. I'm joking, obviously. But 1-1 count, 6 across the board with 1 out.
It's good to see Cam swing at that first pitch. It's good to see him going ahead and willing to make the contact.
Miller squares there. He's got that really weird rotation. I mean, obviously y'all can't see it here, but he kind of like bends down and tries and swings at every pitch almost. Now, doesn't really bring the bat off the barrel on some pitches, but he still like squares like he's going to hit.
I think Cam Miller right now is just fighting through hesitation.
And there's 1 left as Miller swings on that one. Good pitch to swing at. I don't blame him for swinging there.
But that's, yeah.
Colton Denton will be the last hope for the Mountaineers.
Cam Miller's only on base was due to a hit by pitch. We'll see where Colton Denton goes. The source of many of the Mountaineer problems today.
Denton lets that one go in the dirt. Good eye, kid. Denton sees that one. 1-1 count.
Denton right now, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 strikeout.
And 3 attempts?
3 attempts.
Denton will dribble that one, and that should be all she wrote. And that is your final score. ULM 14 on 12 hits and no errors. App State 9 on 12 hits and 3 errors. Thank you, Noah, for broadcasting me. Any shout-outs before the end of the day?
Shout out the Appalachian. Be sure to read your local sports journalism. Read the wonderful work that these students create. Shout out at the end of the day, University of Louisiana Monroe. My family loved it. We miss it every day. Shout out App State Mountaineers. Shout out Austin Cochran. Shout out Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and The Cure and Leonard Skinner. Shout out this wonderful trail mix and the Masters and pimento cheese and Scotty Scheffler and Roy McIlroy. I think that's my full run.
I think you hit everything I was going to hit, Sue. Shout out my parents. Shout out the wonderful weather. And shout out orientation or whatever that was today on
open
campus.
House. Shout out to all of the new incoming
Future
Mountaineers.
Welcome, class of 2030.
I promise you college is more fun than this.
Yes.